Go indeed. Hello, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. Everybody else out there, I hope you're doing well. I have had a change of t-shirt because, like the mucky pup I am, I managed to spill some pizza down me.
All down you as it was. It was delicious pizza, though.
Oh my god.
Really nice.
You know, if I was that flexible, I probably would have licked it up. It was tasty. Tasty. Anyway... It's gone.
You did lick it up.
I did, off the shirt, that's the difference. It was garlic bread cheesy pizza. It was phenomenal to die for. It was from the pizza or the dough guys down the corner. Alex has done a wonderful job of catering this weekend for the tournament. It's not just your classic Subway sandwiches that we're used to here at Element Games. It is a plethora of food more, and I think everybody's been really satisfied by it. So, we have got a fantastic, phenomenal Game 5 for you today. Absolutely awesome. It has been a wonderful tournament. We have seen currently 6 out of 8 potential unique factions here. And we're about to make that 8 out of 10.
Yep.
That is an 8 out of 10 showing.
Yeah. If we want to include sub-factions, every list has been unique. I don't think we can quite class those two cities lists as being, really the same at all.
Or the Deepkin ones. Really, because one had 5 Alapexes, and one only had 2, and then there's less Thralls, Reavers, all this sort of stuff, different faction, all that sort of stuff.
It was all the same.
It's been absolutely awesome to see.
Yeah.
But yeah, we have Calvin Smith versus Gabe Huddlestone. Both of these players are 4-0. Currently, Blades of Khorne Calvin is topping the ladder, only by 2 points. And one of the reasons for that is that whole 10% point increase that we were talking about. Now, here at Mancunian Carnage, which is the biggest tournament here in the UK this weekend, we have got a couple of compositions over the top of everything that's going on. The ones that we really need to pay attention to here are the fact that Khorne get 250 extra points for army composition. That's it. That's the most important one.
Yeah, that's the only one that's going to play into this game.
And both of these players are playing a mission which is relatively interesting comparative to the lists, but we'll get on that in a second. We have got Apex Predators. Yep, that's right. We have got Apex Predators here. It is a quarter deployment, which is quite nice, relatively close for both players.
Yeah, we haven't seen one this weekend either, a quarter.
We have not. One of the key things... Oh, actually, do you want to talk to us about Apex, or do you want me to talk about this?
Oh, no, go ahead. It's named incorrectly.
It's definitely named incorrectly. Between Apex Predators and Survival of the Fittest, they should definitely swap it around, which is incredible. Sorry, 1 second. Nubgun says that there is a reason the points are what they are, to be fair. The 250 points are probably skewing it. I would disagree. I would say that the Blades of Khorne are severely smacked down. This is the only tournament that I've seen a Blades of Khorne army in the past 12 months, I think. Touch wood for me.
If they were certainly at the bottom tables. We've got to realise that Khorne is a old book at this point.
Very old book.
I think it's probably one of the oldest books at this point.
I don't think it's balanced on its points.
No. It was balanced towards AOS 2.0
Correct.
as opposed to 3.0.
Yeah, which it could do with an update. Maybe we'll see that with the General's Handbook. There you go. No one's apart from Bloodthirster spam. Like you say, the book is the problem. Yeah, massively. Don't get me wrong, the 250 points is helping an awful lot. It allows you to be able to get a lot more. We've seen nearly 1,000 points of feck added by summonings and things like that. So I don't think the points as they are good. I think they need changing. That's why we've seen Alex comp it.
Yeah.
But back to the mission, Apex Predators, only leaders can claim these objectives. And most importantly, unlike every other mission in this game, you have to be within 3 inches, so the inner circle that we're going to see on those objectives, of the center of the objective here. 3 inches. Not 6, only 3. And you can only move onto it. You can't teleport onto it or anything like that. And when you are on it, you have to stay on it. If you move away, you lose control. If you get killed, you lose control. The only way to take it off somebody in a turn is by killing the leader that is currently claiming it with another leader within 3.
Yeah.
So you have to do it in combat.
Yeah, and you know what's interesting? If we go to the lists...
Nope, that's the schedule for the weekend. We don't need that. We need the lists.
Go to the lists. So we're starting off with Blades of Khorne. 6 heroes.
Bang. Right out the gate.
Right out the gate. Now, obviously a lot of lists fall down on this mission because they bring 2, 3 heroes.
1 in some cases.
Yeah, even some cases 1. This Blades of Khorne list 6. Scarbrand, Is he going to be able to kill someone standing on a point?
Yes.
You bet he is. And this is one of the missions where you know that their leaders are going to have to come forward. You know where Scarbrand wants to be? Going forward.
Yeah.
In addition to the other two Bloodthirsters he has, of course, we've got the Bloodsecrator, we've got Scar Bloodwrath. Interesting model. He can come back every turn. So even if he does go to a point, loses control of it, next turn, he might be back. All they've got to do is roll above an 8 on a 2d6.
Yep. Calvin's got a T-shirt on that says how many times Scar's come back, and has currently got 4 marks. That means that over the weekend he's come back 4 times so far.
I mean, for a mission like this, where the leaders do swing it, and you don't want to lose leaders, being able to bring back a leader is massive.
Yeah, it's really
And it's
huge.
not just a once-per-game thing for Scar. It's every turn, regardless of if you fail. As long as he's not on the board, you roll that dice. We've got the Slaughter Priest, again, another nice keen buffing unit. He's also got the Prayer for Bronze Flesh, Scarbrand, big, beefy boy. Lots of damage. He's a little bit slow getting into it, so this kind of mission really helps him, where his targets are where he wants to be. We've got the Bloodthirster of Insensate Rage with the artifact of the Argath, the King of Blades, and we've got the General, who is the Bloodthirster of Unfettered Fury with the command trait Mage Eater. Of course, as we know, Khorne don't like their mages. He's got the Skull Shard Mantle. Then we've got the basic units, 2 lots of 10 Blood Warriors, 2 lots of Flesh Hounds. Again, I believe they get another Deny. Really key for, stopping Nurgle casting all those spells.
Yep.
We've got the Wrathmongers, and 2 lots of 10 Blood Reavers, and then we've got the Hexgorger Skulls. Again, really good at denying wizards, this list.
Yep.
Yeah.
So it's pretty good, pretty solid.
Yeah, I'd say solid. Well, clearly it is. It's 4-0.
Yeah, and the other 4-0 list that we are looking at here is Gabe Huddlestone. He is the befouling host for the Nurgle, which means he starts the game with an extra tree on the table, which is really nice, helping those contagion points get along so he can maybe summon some more stuff. He has also a slew of heroes. He only has 5, not 6, but he can summon other leaders.
Yeah.
Which is nice. So he's got Rotigus, which is pretty standard. He's got Fleshy Abundance, which means he can +1 wound to a unit. Mm-hmm. So that Plague Bearer has become 3 wounds a model instead of 2 for a turn until the next hero phase, which is a 60 wound block. He's got Orgot's Demon Spute and Morvik's Twiceborn, the brothers. Absolutely devastating. They've got a lot of prowess in them in combat, and the ability to just soak up a load of damage. They are incredibly tanky models. I mean, you're in Nurgle, so you're pretty tanky anyway. You've got a lot of afflictions there, so if he wants to, he can deep strike down from the sky. But he's got the overpowering stench, which means you can't use command abilities whilst near him.
Yeah.
And you've got the split horn helm as well. And then you've got Sloppity Bile Piper. This is one of my favourite models, right? He's got the Arcane Tome and he's got favoured poxes. Whatever. Don't care about that. His ability means that whilst he is within 14 inches, I believe, of a... Is it? What are you shaking your head at?
No, I don't like this ability.
Whilst you're within 14 inches of a demon unit... whilst he's within 14 inches of a demon unit, any enemy within 3 inches of that unit can't pile in.
Yeah. I do not like that as a rule.
Incredible.
I mean, obviously, incredibly powerful. I don't like it as a rule.
No, but incredible. I mean, I like it. I think it's cool.
I think his range is too long.
And then he's got 2 Beasts of Nurgle as well. But that's pretty much, that's both the lists, relatively similar. Both of these players are representing their factions. We can see that, the ones that we've got represented here, 4 of the Blades of Khorne players, 1 of them is 5-0. Mm-hmm. 8 of the Nurgle players, 1 of them is 5-0. Other ones that we've got 5-0, we've got Daughters of Cain, and we've got 2 different cities as well. So I won't get my win with the Igoneth winning the tournament, but you might with Nurgle. It all depends what happens on what tables.
I think, obviously we could see Daughters of Cain absolutely, because they've been matched into a lower bracket because there was only 5 lists that were
correct. Yeah, they've looked out a bit.
Yeah, but they are also into Maggotkin.
Yeah, and Paul Scott is a absolutely prolific player. He is phenomenal with his Maggotkin and Nurgle. He's been 5-0 at events. In fact, I think he was the first person to 5-0 with Nurgle after the new book.
So Daughters of Cain don't have a free pass by any means.
Definitely not.
But it's as I predicted at the start. I thought Maggotkin would take this event with all the comps that went on. I mean, I'm hoping to be proved wrong. I want the Khorne to win.
Yeah, I mean, I predicted it. I've got Chaos having the Khorne icon there.
Yeah.
Bang, done. There's a surprising amount of death here. 13 death factions.
You know what? You predicted Git's doing well as well, and the Git's is doing surprisingly well.
He's 3-1.
Yeah.
Which is incredible. Anyway, let's look at some toys. Mr. Lamatastic doesn't know what a drop is. A drop is a placement. Basically, when you start the game and you're in deployment, each player alternates putting units down on the battlefield. And, let's just have a quick look at this view close. Look at that. Grim. And whoever has the lowest drops or the lowest placements of units gets the ability to choose whoever gets to go first.
Yeah.
But there are things like Battle Regiment and things like that that can help reduce the number of drops units are. We both probably dislike the Battle Regiments, I think.
Yeah, I'm not a fan.
I mean, let's take a cheeky look at this before we go back to the game. There's 152 Battle Regiments. 152 battalions. There might as well be. There's 152 battalions over the course of 81 lists that were registered for this event. 50 of them, nearly 33%, basically 33% of them, were Battle Regiments.
Yeah.
These are combining up to 9 units in total, or up to 8 units in total, into a 1-drop army.
Yep.
Which means you always get to choose if you go first or not.
As long as the opponent isn't also a 1-drop.
And you don't lose the roll-off.
Yeah.
44 of them, or 28%, are Hunters, which means that they can't be targeted by monstrous actions.
Yep.
So no Roar, no Stomp, none of that. 33 of them, or 21%, are Warlord, which gives you an extra artifact. And so does the Command Entourage.
Yes. So with Command Entourage, you can pick between getting a free command point at some point or having a relic. Everyone picks a relic.
Everybody picks a relic. There's no other point. And then you've got Bosses of the Stomp, which are all, again, you either choose between a 1-drop or an artifact. Every single one of them has gone the artifact. Vanguard allows you to get a free reroll on a charge roll, I believe. And Alpha Beast Pack gives you a free pre-game move.
Although actually saying this, Command Entourage Magnificent gives you an extra enhancement. And not ever, I believe the Flesh Eater Court list we had on yesterday used it for an extra mount trait.
Yes, enhancement, sorry, not artifact. Yeah, which is really cool.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I think, 99% of lists are using it for the relic.
Yeah, definitely. But there we go, we're on to the tabletop now. We have got Calvin versus Gabe. There's the handshake to signify the first turn and the start of the game. Absolutely wonderful. Both of them are gorgeous armies as well.
Yeah.
And in true Mancunian Carnage style, we have got some secondary objectives, because why not? So, we've got Gabe has gone for, if you can dodge a wrench, you can dodge a ball. Have 3 separate units inflict a wound on a single target in 1 shooting phase. Now, Gabe only has 2 shooting weapons.
Okay.
But you can release an arcane bolt in the shooting phase.
Yes. You aren't wrong.
So what he even said to me, and he said to Calvin at the very start, was, I'll be brutally honest with you, mate. Chances are, I'm going to try and release the arcane bolt in the shooting phase. Guaranteed wound.
If he gets it off, as we know, Khorne very anti-wizard, and if we get those skulls up, it's going to become much harder to cast.
Most definitely is. It most definitely is. But that is, it's a solid play from Gabe. The reason he's gone for that is because he's not got a choice of anything else, because he's already used them throughout
He's already
the weekend.
used, ones that can realistically score.
Yeah, so he's already done that. And then Calvin's, in true Khorne style, has gone for, I have a cunning plan. So win the battle, but without your grand strategy. And his grand strategy is hold the line. Calvin has 6 battle line units. The man's got a pair on him.
But, as long as those units die, he's getting blood tithe to summon stuff back.
Yeah, well, definitely.
Or to debuff, or to do whatever else he wants to do with that blood tithe.
Yeah.
Of course, Khorne has the special blood tithe system, where every time a unit dies, you get a point. There are various things you can do for those points, including you can use them for summoning things.
Yep.
I think when you get to the max amount, you can summon yourself a free Bloodthirster if you're really interested in doing that. And who doesn't want a free Bloodthirster? There are other different effects that you can, spend your blood tithe on as well. I believe you can do like mortal wounds across the board, receive a command point, automatically unbind a spell, things like that. The key thing to remember is once you have used your blood tithe points, the whole chart resets and you're back to 0. Even if you had 7 points and decided just to spend, 1 to receive an extra command point, you lose all of your stored things. Same thing if you decide to summon a unit. So even if, all of those units go in and get killed, he gets himself 6 blood tithe points. What can he do for 6 blood tithe points?
Talk to me.
Bring on 15 blood letters.
Woohoo!
Or, for 6 blood tithe points, you can have units fight before they die.
Really cool, actually.
It's not. I feel like maybe the blood tithe table could maybe be done with a little updating.
Hang on, hear me out. What if it's the Bloodthirster of Insensate Rage, which does all the mortal wounds and fights before it dies?
Well, I mean, of course, there's potential, but considering that unlike every single other army that has these running tallies throughout the game, Khorne resets every single time.
Yeah.
So you've got a bunch of very situational effects compared to, should I just save 2 more points and get me a free Bloodthirster?
Yeah, that's fair.
It would be a bit more interesting if they only, spent as many as the thing cost.
If you could cap them.
Yeah, so let's say you've got your 8 points and you want to spend 4 on having a free pile-in. It would be nice if they went down to just 4 instead of having the entirety of the blood points go. So we can see that we've given priority to Calvin. I think we're going to start doing the prayers and such in the hero phase to start with. I think it would be odd. In fact, we've already seen the Hexgorger skulls come out towards the side of the Nurgle. And as we said earlier, that's just going to make things a lot harder for the Nurgle to get their spells off. And, he wants to deny the tactic of damaging a unit 3 times.
Yep.
So the Hexgorger skulls, incredible anti-spell.
Yep.
And in that regard, I'm a little surprised that the Nurgle would have given the turn away to start with.
I think the reason Gabe's done it is because he doesn't want a double turn in from a Khorne.
So, just to show what the Hexgorger skulls do, because they are really good. So, unlike every other thing, Khorne doesn't do spells.
Hates magic.
So he has prayers. So it's a single dice, and it needs at least a 3 to set them up.
So this is an endless prayer, right?
This is an endless.
It's an evocation.
It's an endless prayer spell.
It's an invocation.
Ironically, you can have Khorne units be wizards if you give them the arcane tome.
Oh, you're allowed to do that, are you?
Yeah, nothing's stopping you. But after it's up, it moves towards them, so that's why we can see they're already halfway across the board next to them. And then it subtracts 2 from casting rolls when they're within 12 of any Hexgorger skulls. And if they roll an 8, they're automatically unsuccessful. The wizard forgets how to use the spell for the rest of the game, and they take d6 mortal wounds. Which is pretty good. Pretty good.
That's
overall.
insane. There's no pretty good about it. That's insane.
I don't know if they got changed in the White Dwarf update. Actually, I don't know if they got maybe a little extra in the White Dwarf update for that.
Sorry, it's just so I can hear you a little better. That's all. What? So I mean. The White Dwarf update for Khorne was
Not sensational.
It was deemed lackluster to say the least, wasn't it?
Yes, it was definitely not on the level of Beasts of Chaos. I mean, that one's been the premiere, isn't it? No one's quite matched up to that.
No, that's like putting a Hilton next to a Premier Inn.
I mean, yeah. Most of the factions, apart from Beasts of Chaos, have been fairly mediocre to lackluster. So
yeah.
The Khorne one was especially I don't think there's a better way to put it. So army-wide, they did get they ignore spells on a 6-up. No one's going to complain about a free roll like that across your entire army, especially when it is things like the Arcane Bolt for the thing. 16% chance to just completely ignore a spell.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
Is that army-wide?
Yeah.
Ugh.
Army-wide. But then you go to everything else and it's kind of, well, that's... Who cares?
Yeah.
So what, their grand strategy was to summon a Khorne Demon unit every turn.
Impossible. Not impossible.
Not impossible.
But impossible.
Highly unlikely. Every turn. It's not no.
Yeah.
It's
Anything
simple.
else? What are their battle tactics actually?
The battle tactics they got in the White Dwarf were pick one enemy within your terrain piece. We can see the little terrain piece for Khorne up here. The skull, we can't see it because I've not got the pencil on.
There we go.
This one here, that's their terrain piece. It's
Yep.
called the Skull Altar.
Yep.
So if there's an enemy unit within 9, you can pick that unit. If it's destroyed this turn, you gain your VPs.
Nice.
They've got Slay the Sorcerer. I think that should be pretty obvious.
Kill a wizard.
Kill a wizard. That could be a very good pick. Potentially.
Yeah. Anything else?
And then try the skulls. Pick one friendly unit. You complete the spell tactic if 8 or more enemy models are slain by attacks made by that unit.
Wow. Okay.
Unlikely to want to pick that going into Plague Bearers.
Well, it depends how many mortal wounds you spike on the Bloodthirster, I guess. Because that isn't that one unit. That's all units within 8.
No, it is pick one friendly unit. Well, no, you have to pick the friendly unit to slay 8 or more models.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is if you put the Bloodthirster that splashes mortal wounds across multiple units, when you hit in, it could potentially kill multiple units in a turn, which will give you that tally.
The problem with the Nurgle army is that all of those individual units are high wound.
Oh yeah.
And with a feel no pain.
I'm not saying he does it turn 1. I'm saying he does it turn 3 when everything's whittled down a bit.
I mean, it's always something that he's got in the back pocket to consider.
Anything else? What else has changed? The Skull Altar, did that change?
I don't even know what the Skull Altar... I mean, I can't really remember what the Skull Altar did to begin with. I know it gave rerolls to prayers originally.
Yeah.
So, it makes those prayers that are on a 3-up really reliable anyway.
Yeah.
When a Khorne hero garrisons them, it can attempt to summon invocations in the same manner as a Khorne priest.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
So, if your priest does die, you can garrison a little wee man in there who then becomes a priest.
Or you just don't take a priest to begin with.
I mean, if you're taking an invocation, you can't just rely on that. So,
actually, do you need a priest to take an invocation?
I believe so.
That could be a potential thing. Anyway, sorry, carry on.
I believe so, but I mean, I wouldn't take an invocation without a priest, regardless, because you're setting yourself up for failure. Because the Skull Altar is obviously a static piece on the board.
Naturally.
And if a spell is miscast, you take mortal wounds. No.
Extra mortal wounds on a miscast or just not cast?
Yeah, just on a miscast.
So on a double 1.
On a double 1, you take D6 instead of D3.
Ooh, that's nice. How close is that to it though?
Just on the battlefield.
Oh, so it's a pretty long range then.
Yeah, battlefield wide.
That's insane. So do you want to go pick some Khorne up?
I don't really want to play Khorne, but there are certain models in the Khorne range I really, really like.
Yeah.
The ones with the giant maces that are flailing around themselves.
The Wrathmongers.
The Wrathbringers? Skull? No, yeah.
No, the Wrathmongers, aren't they?
Yeah, the Wrathmongers. Yeah, we can see them on the objective there. You can see their little flails everywhere. I really, really like the design of that unit.
Just there, off to the.
Yeah, you can just about see it flail in the background.
Just through the pillars.
Yeah. No, I really, really like the idea of some of these units, but I don't feel like they're my playstyle.
What would you consider your playstyle to be?
Wacky. Weird and wacky.
Yeah, I don't disagree with you.
I mean, yeah, as a Skaven player, yes. I also say I hate Horde armies. I almost exclusively play Horde armies.
Oh dear, Moog. Oh dear. Anyway, there we go. We can see that the Khorne have indeed... I'm going to go to the top down.
Yep, please.
The Khorne have indeed moved up on the battlefield. They're ready to do their turn 2 thing if/when they get it. I think Gabe was kind of making sure that, you can go first, you can get your buffs up, you can do what you want, that's fine. However, I am going to try and sit here and
be Nurgle.
I'm going to try and tank it all, and then I'm going to try and double turn you. And I'm going to say no to you. And you're going to hate me. I think that's the plan.
Yeah. So I don't think we're going to see any apart from the middle objective be claimed here for the Khorne side. In fact, I don't even I can't even see if we've actually got a hero on the... I can't see where old Scar Bloodwrath is at the moment.
I'm going to have a cheeky look, and I'll move the close-up camera so we can have a better look at the objectives, yeah?
Actually, I think he probably is there. I think we've got a little HQ unit. I think that might be the Slaughter Priest right there. Sometimes it's a bit hard to tell from the top-down angle what is actually what. But we can see we've got the 3 Bloodthirsters at the back. Scarbrand slowly shuffling his way forwards. And of course, as we said with this mission at the start, they have to bring their heroes to the middle. Scarbrand is going to be a massive presence there. Hopefully, he can just walk in and start slapping things with Carnage. And of course, the best way to kill Nurgle is going to be with those mortal wounds. Hopefully, we see those 16 mortal wounds come out from Carnage immediately. That would be very, very satisfying. In the meantime, what are Nurgle going to do next turn? They have to start shuffling up slowly. They actually can't attempt to take the prayers down from Khorne. The Khorne player will have to make a roll to see if they are maintained, but they can't actually do anything about that. So getting all of their buffs up, so the plus wounds onto the Plague Bearers, the Arcane Bolts, the Mystic Shields, they're all going to be at -2 to cast. It's going to make it all just that little tiny bit harder. We might see one of the Maggot Riders start to career off to the top, while the other one maybe goes here, along with the Great Unclean One, just so, you know, they can start threatening 2 objectives at once and figuring out where they want to go and what they want to do. Apart from that, I think Nurgle has much of a very static playstyle. They're going to get into combat, and they're going to slowly try and whittle you down. The Khorne's units are not that durable, and because half of them are, you know, the most basic of the basic, they're not all that damaging either. A lot of the damage on the Khorne side is going to come from attempting to deny their spells, and then the 3 Bloodthirsters.
Do me a favour, Moog. How many points are a unit of Blood Reavers?
80.
80.
Off the top of my head, 80. I could look at the lists, but off the top of my head, 80.
Blood Reavers, 80 points.
Yeah.
Okay. Because one of those units isn't on the battlefield.
Oh, okay.
Because Calvin forgot to deploy it.
Ah. I see.
So Calvin forgot to deploy a unit of Blood Reavers.
Well, it's good for him that now counts towards Slain as his objective.
Yep. Unfortunately.
He gets a tithe point.
Because he started the game and started moving everything and has already finished his turn, and they've called his turn and gone on to Gabe's turn, they've sort of gone between them. Yeah, it's fine. I won't. I can't use them.
Gives himself a tithe.
Does he? Isn't the tithe only during the battle?
Technically Slain. It didn't arrive. It's counted them as reserves, but he's got no way to bring them on. So it dies at the end of turn 3.
But it's not on the battlefield. What is the blood tithe rules actually? Are they like? Is it like Is it like I don't know? Is it slow? Or?
I'll have to go and look at the book. Bear with me.
Well, we've got Ferocious Advance coming in there from Calvin. He successfully did it, and he did it with the 3 Bloodthirsters, so he got an extra VP for that. Clever, well done. He also got Hold 1, Hold More, because he only committed to the center objective there, so he didn't have to worry about the rest of them. And now we're going into Gabe's turn 1, who could potentially double turn here. I imagine we're going to probably see the Nurgle swing round this way and just go crazy.
Yeah, I said while you were off at the table, I thought one of the Maggoth Riders will start curving round up to the top, as you just put. I think the Great Unclean will probably just waddle onto that pole, won't really care about the skulls, so that he can start putting pressure on either one of the objectives when he needs to.
Yep. Yeah, it'll just take the time. Yep.
The wording on the Blood Tithe is each time a unit is destroyed. I mean, they probably won't count as a Blood Tithe, but he's still got above 2,000 points.
He has. So
he's at 2,170 points.
That was it was an unfortunate mistake from Calvin, and he only noticed it because I went over to the table to move the close-up camera, and they were under the close-up camera. I didn't say anything about them; they were just under the close-up camera. And he looked at me, and he looked at Gabe, and went, "I I've left them off the table. Ben. Somebody said Ben.
Ben?
Yeah, it came up on the speech to text.
Right, so what are we going to see coming out here?
So we've got our finest hour coming out over here.
And that's on. Is that the Slaughter Priest?
That is the Slaughter Priest. That is the only hero on an objective.
Yep. So we're going to try and cast and Mortal Wound off the board?
Oh, no, this is a Mystic Shield.
Okay, so that's -2 on the casting, down to a 6. And of course, he's got multiple deny attempts.
Oh my... Sorry.
What?
What was the... Mystic Shield was
an
attempted
8
to be cast?
On an 8.
Yeah, so he's now forgot it for the rest of the game.
Forgot it for the rest of the game and takes Mortal Wounds.
And every unit near him takes near the skull takes mortal wounds?
I don't know if it's every unit near the skull takes the Mortal Wounds. Bear with me on that one.
Oh, once it's done that, they disappear. Okay. Fenrir, thank you very much for dropping in the chat, saying, not sure if you mentioned it yet, but on the Blood Tithe, watch out for the move. It means that he can move over his screens and fight in the hero phase. Nice. That is really nice to know, actually. Thank you very much. I don't know if we did cover that or not.
Each wizard within 12 takes D6.
D6.
Yeah. So, as you can see, incredible that prayer.
Yeah, phenomenal. How many? It's like, what, 80 points for the prayer?
70, 80 points.
Oh, so nice. But only into wizard matchups, right?
Well, yeah, I think most lists bring a wizard, so it's always going to be decent.
Apart from the one time it's not.
Well, I mean, how many people don't bring wizards? Caradron? Fireslayers? All the dwarven factions, there you go. But making the Great Unclean One forget Mystic Shield, obviously every other wizard knows that anyway. But big, that's absolutely huge. It's a shame that obviously he now doesn't get the -2 to cast for the rest of the hero phase.
And he just unbound another one of Gabe's spells on the Great Unclean One, and he took 6 mortal wounds from the unbind, because apparently when you unbind with Khorne, you take mortal wounds.
There are artifacts that, yes, do let you do that.
That is disgusting. Disgusting.
Or the command trait of Mage Eater?
Mage Eater, yeah, that'll be it.
Yeah, the general can attempt to unbind 1 spell, and if the if the unmodified unbinding is 8, they take mortal wounds. So he rolled an 8 to cast, forgot a spell, rolled an 8 to deny, does more mortal wounds back.
Took 6 mortal wounds back.
And then can attempt to unbind another spell because it's eaten another one.
Oh my word. Oh. Poor Gabe, right? Poor Gabe. I feel bad for the man.
I mean, Khorne is clearly happy with the sacrifice of the 10 the 10 blood reavers for 80 points.
You've sacrificed the reavers for my greater good, is what he said. He's now turned into Tau, basically.
Yeah. That is some really good numbers. Khorne is definitely looking upon this list and saying, please 5-0 an event for me. It's been years.
It's been a while, hasn't it? Yeah.
It has been since the Gore Pilgrims Battalion got removed. Since Khorne have been good.
Oh. Can you imagine, though, if they do manage to 5-0 an event? Wouldn't that be great?
Well, we will see later on.
Now, just because they 5-0 an event doesn't mean they win this event, because this event actually takes into account the painting scores that Alex went round yesterday and had a look at. So Alex went round every single army table player yesterday and did his little checklist for painting scores. And it's like, are they based? Have you put effort in? Have you done this? Have you done that? You know, just extra little bits here and there. And that's in the spirit of Carnage, because that's what it is. Alex himself is a phenomenal painter. Like, has won many painting awards, and is definitely zoned out and not listening to me at the moment and sing his praises. So, it's you know, you run the event you want to go to, right? That's the simplest thing. If you are a TO, run the event you want to go to. And Alex wants to go to something that encapsulates all aspects of the hobby, not just one.
No, it's always good to get the people who can paint, who like showing off their work, give them some recognition.
Yeah, and I'm just awful at it. So.
Oh, yeah, I mean, you may as well just throw the paint at the canvas and see what happens.
Thanks, Mick. I love you, mate. You are you're great. You deserve a solid high five, but not from me.
Hey, you owe me a shiny coin from yesterday.
Do I owe you a shiny coin from yesterday, do I?
Yeah, you made a bet, and then you said you owe me a shiny coin. And as we all know, I am a magpie. I will have that shiny coin.
Hang on, 1 second. We're going to come back to the talent for a split second. I want video evidence of this. Moog, this is... Oh, that's not that shiny.
It's not that shiny, mate.
Well, that's a shiny coin.
On camera.
Shiny coin. Right, give me that back. I need it for parking. I'm joking. I'm joking.
Okay, that's. In fact, this is my tip. This is my pay for the weekend.
That's your tip. That's your. Yeah, you're allowed that and nothing more, mate. I'm afraid nothing more.
I'll buy myself 100 entries to the raffle with that.
That needs to be an increment of 5. Sorry.
Got me. Can I borrow 4 more?
A small loan of £4. Speaking of which, guys, just before we do carry on with the game, I wanted to let you all know we are giving away an Echoes of Doom box today. In fact, you have an hour and 10 minutes to get your entries in. Now, that is either by an email, and you can email for free to win.thehobbyroom@gmail.com. All details are in !BattleBox, and you can get in there for free. Or every donation of £5 an increment of gets you an absolute load of entries into the giveaway, helps support the stream, and helps cover the postage and the cost of the box itself. So if you're interested in that, feel free. I'm going to be drawing it today, directly after the stream. There you go.
So, we're now seeing the Maggotkin slowly waddle up, as predicted. The 2 Maggot brothers went right up to the top. I don't know what point of the Nurgle's wheel we're at for all the bonuses. Because, of course, Nurgle do get a different effect going on each turn. But
I'll go check on that in a second.
We've seen the Lord of Afflictions move up to start contesting that objective as well, and then we saw a redeploy from one of the set of Bloods.
Blood Reavers.
The Blood... It's so hard to tell from the down top which unit is which with the half-naked barbarians. But they came forward just to, give a little bit of a screen towards the thing. Obviously, if he rolls high enough, he can still charge over the back. He's probably at that point going to tag a Bloodthirster in, depending on his positioning. But it's also worth remembering that Lord of Afflictions does have the turn-off command abilities around him aura. And he's got a 4-up ward.
He definitely does, which is quite nice.
It's a little bit tiring because every single list has him. Every single Maggotkin list without fail has the 4-up ward save, no command abilities near him, general.
Because it's so good.
It is, and that's the issue.
Charles Nolan.
It's a no-brainer.
Sorry, Charles Nolan, it does indeed look like a fantastic event weekend. It has been great to see so many players here, I think. What do you think, Moog?
I think the atmosphere here has been really good. I mean, I've obviously been to other events of a decent size before, and I would say this one is probably up there in terms of, I think, atmosphere and,
Everybody here is here to have fun, and that's one of the most important things.
Yeah. Obviously, different dates where other events may not be on, you might get a more competitive crowd come to them. But I think, especially with the additional rules in the rule packs, making it, not a standard event, not a by the book standard event as such.
It dissuades some people and encourages others, doesn't it?
Yeah. So. But no, everyone I think has had a decent time. I mean, just to say that by I don't think there's been any drops in today too, has there?
I don't think there's been a single drop.
No. Other than ones that were obviously told before the tournament started.
Oh yeah, and the ones that dropped at the very start of the tournament are simply because they were poorly. Like no other reason.
Yeah. But other than that, no, everyone's looks like they've been having a good time. I've not heard any complaints about things.
The food's been good quality.
There's no Lumineth.
Yeah. There's no Caradron.
There's no Caradron. Well, that's a sad thing.
Yeah.
I might buy a Caradron army just to equal that out. Convert them into Skaven overlords.
Yeah, why not? Tim King Tristan, thank you very much for your donation. You are definitely entered into that raffle. I appreciate it. Get yourself some entries. See if you can win some Sylvaneth. There's not a massive amount of people in the raffle either, chat. So it's a reasonable chance that you can win it.
Right, so we have seen the Lord of Afflictions make a successful charge into Scar Bloodwrath at the top.
Yep.
So, I mean, even if he does kill him, we've got a chance every single turn to come back.
Yeah.
I guess he's just putting that on there so that he doesn't have the ability next turn to start. Even though he wouldn't remove both Maggot brothers from that point, he would be able to kind of like go onto the middle point and further reinforce that. Just double down.
Yeah. You probably remove one of them because the only one that's in position. I'm going to go and double check what the Maggotkin Nurgle is at, wheel is at, because that's kind of important. So I'll be right back.
Yeah. So I think we're just rolling the charges on the Beast of Chaos, who is also into Scar Bloodwrath. Scar Bloodwrath will probably die here. While he has the chance to come back, he is just, at the end of the day, he's a pretty half-naked barbarian man, isn't he? So yeah, he's got 5 wounds and a 4-up save. And there we can see the rule of the Slaughterborn. If he's been slain at the end of the movement phase, so either player's turn, roll a 2d6 on an 8, he comes back. And that's via your normal deep strike rules, just 9 inches away from enemy units. Other than that, he has attack characteristics equal to the number of enemy models within 3. So against the Maggotkin, which is quite an elite army, it's not great. But if he managed to find his way into those Plague Bearers, that's where he's going to feel at home. Within 8? I meant within 3, sorry. And then his command ability is just to give Wrathmongers the chance to fight before they die. Obviously, there is the 1 unit of Wrathmongers, but they're not currently anywhere near the combat. And then Wrathmongers, of course, give everything around them plus 1 attack that is Khorne. So we see in the bottom, the Beast of Nurgle has gone into the first unit of Blood Reavers and has taken a fair few out.
Yep.
They've got their bare naked t-shirt saves, and then they'll get any disease points that they generate from the Nurgle's attacks as well later on in the phase.
Yep.
And for anyone that doesn't know the new Nurgle rules, they all have diseased attacks, and for any, I believe it's hit rolls of 6.
Yep.
Or is it wound rolls? I can't quite immediately remember.
Any 6.
I think it's hit rolls of 6.
I think it is, yeah.
They put a disease token on a unit, and at the end of the battle shock phase, you roll the dice for the amount of disease tokens on that unit, maximum of 7, because 7's Nurgle's number. And on a 4+, it does a mortal wound.
Yep.
As we can see, predicted, Scar Bloodwrath has been taken off the battlefield. He might be back next turn.
So what happens there? Is it when you have to kill it? He doesn't just kill himself.
No, as long as he is slain, every movement phase you can roll the dice to see if he comes back.
Enemy as well?
Yep.
Damn, that's pretty nice. That's pretty nice indeed.
It is indeed pretty nice. So, we can also see what we've got going on here is we have the Plague Bearer line with the Sloppity Bilepiper stopping any further movement and pile-ins into that unit.
Yep. Nubgan, Anonymous Rex and Toonkin Tristan, all your entries are in. Thank you very much for that. We're gonna be winning drawing this very soon, actually. After this game, I'll say very soon. This game is about 2 hours and 3 minutes, but you guys have got an hour to get your entries in if you would like to. The tune was obviously played from the Bile Piper, which means there's no pile-ins allowed anywhere near this unit over here. Sorry, near this unit over here. So he's not going to let him pile in. And the beast went in here first into this unit to just take them off. I think the beast's designed to just be annoying and pester this.
Yeah. I really don't like the range on the Sloppity Bilepiper's music. 14 inches is so big.
Yeah.
I think it needs to be reduced to 7.
7. What? Well, it's not. You have to be wholly in 14, don't you?
Let's bring up the profile. I just think it's such a strong effect for free. If it was a command ability that you have to pay for as well.
Let's see on stream. Exclamation mark, battle box. Dodgy for the details.
So here we are, the Sloppity Bilepiper. He's got 5 wounds and a 5-up save, and he'll also have the Disgustingly Resilient from Nurgle's Allegiance.
Naturally.
So at the start of the combat phase, you pick 1 toon for him to be tuning.
Nice.
A unit cannot benefit from more than 1 tune once per phase.
Yep.
But the obvious one that people go for is My Love is like a ripe fart.
Thanks, GW.
Enemy models within 3 inches of a friendly Nurgle demon unit that is wholly within 14 of the Biopiper cannot finish a pile-in move closer to a model at the start of that move.
Yeah.
And
So it's basically no pylons.
I think the 14 inches is far too big, personally. 14 inches is ridiculous.
It's wholly within, though.
Yeah, only the demon unit has to be wholly within.
Yeah, but it's wholly within that 14 inches.
Yeah.
That's huge. Like, to fit a unit of 30 Plague Bearers wholly in 14, he is stretching his... I think that's probably the maximum he can do.
Yeah, I think there should be an opportunity cost and he should have to be closer.
There is an opportunity cost. He's wide out in the open.
Khorne has no deep strike. I mean, sorry, Scar Bloodwrath can deep strike.
Thank you.
Okay, but I personally think it should be a shorter range still.
I don't know.
I do, because it's far too powerful for what it gives.
How many points is he? Sloppity?
The slobbity bobbity.
The slobbery.
The sloppity boppity is a massive 130 points, which is not really all that much.
It's reasonable.
Hmm.
That's another beast of Nurgle you're not getting.
I mean, the sloppy Biopiper is infinitely better.
Saying so.
The sloppity Biopiper is infinitely better.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Can you just check the wording on that? I'm gonna get Sloppity back up. I'm gonna look at it on my thing.
It does not cost a CP. It's just an effect that happens.
Friendly Nurgle demon. Sorry, I just wanted to make sure it said. Oh no, it doesn't cost a CP. No, AD Mac. Also, hello. How's it going?
Funnily enough,
I thought it was going to say any enemy within whole unit wholly in 14 of a demon unit is what I thought it was going to say.
You know, funnily enough, you can take one of those in Skaven.
Yeah.
As long as your list is entirely Nurgle Pestilence, you can ally a Sloppity Biopiper in. A Vermin Lord has the Nurgle Demon keyword for some reason. So you can get this effect in a Skaven army.
Get
as
a
well.
leap?
No, because then you'd have to have an Eshin, in which case you can't ally in Nurgle units.
Okay.
So
The wheel, by the way, was the heroes have a 4+ ward.
okay, so that actually was, pretty good considering a lot of mortal wounds came back at them for this turn.
Yeah. I wondered why Gabe was rolling dice and then picking up the everything, the 1, 2, and 3, but not anything more.
Right, so we started at stage 1.
Yes, we did.
So next turn it'll clock over to 2, and everything will count as having their locus, which I believe is -1 to be hit.
Yes, I think so. Calvin won the turn. Whilst you're looking that up, Calvin won the turn. Took the turn.
Yep.
And they're just having a chat about Ferocious Advance now, potentially.
Yeah. The locus of Fecundity is healing D3 instead of 1.
Oh, nice. Oh,
Yeah.
that's really good. Sorry. Aggressive expansion. Carry on. Not Ferocious Advance. He's already done that. Oh, instead they ignore me completely and go Monstrous Takeover. Brilliant. They said just about every battle tactic before they decided on one.
No, so what do we want to see here from the Khorne side? Obviously, a monster's going to step onto the point at one point. Is it going to be the Bloodthirster just taking on this Beast of Chaos? Beast of Chaos?
Beast of Nurgle.
Beast of Nurgle.
Most likely.
Probably. Which one is that? I can never remember which Bloodthirster's which.
I'll go find out for you.
I mean, we can look at the pictures. But I can tell you which one it definitely isn't Scarbrand, because he's way in the back there. So we'll definitely see Scarbrand start to waddle all the way around, and of course, the screen that can't pile in could choose to at least retreat, but obviously currently there's quite a lot of stuff in the way. But we really do need to make a path for the things further up to start coming down. We'll probably see the skulls come out again from the Skull Altar, just because, well, we saw what it could do last turn. And we obviously want to make sure that we get all of those.
So the Bloodthirster of Insensate Rage, so the big kiddie mortal wound bomb one, is on the pedestal with Scarbrand.
Yeah.
And the one of Unfettered Fury is below that.
Okay.
Dodgy Roller, I've got your entries. Thank you very much. helping support the cost of the box and also the extortionate postage.
You got the Slobobbity biopipe as well, scroll up still.
Yeah, would you like it on the screen?
I just want to know if when does it finish? The end of that phase. Okay.
Yeah, but it's the start of the combat phase, so
Yeah, that's fine. I just wanted to make sure that he could retreat out. I just wanted to make sure there was nothing saying you can't retreat out.
He can retreat out,
Yeah.
and if he really wants to, in the hero phase, I think there's a blood tide thing on the hero phase to be able to fight in the hero phase.
So I don't think he's actually. Well, he's got one blood tithe point for 2 blood tithes because Scar Bloodwrath died.
Yep.
And because the small unit down there died.
The Blood Reavers died in the bottom left.
So right now he has the chance of getting. Oh, word. No, it's always hard going through a book and finding the page you want.
And everybody who has emailed in for the giveaway, I have also got all of your emails sorted. Thank you so very much.
So with his 2 points, he can receive a command point, or he can choose after a wizard has cast a spell and choose to just say no.
Wait, what?
Choose to just say no.
I'm sorry.
Yeah,
I'm
2
sorry.
points.
What?
Choose this reward immediately after a wizard has cast a spell anywhere on the battlefield. Before you make any attempts to unbind that spell, it's not successful.
Which means you then take D6 mortal wounds if you do it with a general.
No, because it has to be a successful unbind on 8 for that one.
Ah, right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Or he can summon 5 blood letters, or a blood master, which is a leader.
Yeah.
So he could 100% take that bottom objective, even just with a summon, if you wanted to. Because the only qualifier of where these units have to appear is to be 9 inches away from enemy units and within 12 of a Khorne hero or Skull Altar.
Yep. Alrighty, that makes that makes a lot of sense.
What?
Sorry, I'm just the ability to do the mortal wounds is only on an 8 and not just for the fact of an unbind.
No.
That would probably be a bit strong if it was just an unbind.
A little bit. Considering knowledge of my casting rolls, if it's not a 13 and killing myself, it's not going through anyway. I would be dead within a phase.
Yeah. Whilst we've got a small lull while the players are going back and forth, I just want to take a massive second. A massive second. It's like a mega pint of wine. Yeah, like a mega pint. Topical. I just want to take a second to say thank you so very much to Element Games for hosting the tournament here. But also, and I would argue more importantly, thank you very much to Alex for being an absolute gentleman, scholar, and having us here and allowing us to stream to you guys at home the biggest tournament in the UK this weekend, Mancunian Carnage. It is a relatively large tournament on the scene, and I believe, providing we've not offended Alex by any particular means, that we've got the opportunity to stream his event in August as well. And he also has a team tournament that's fully sold out, but if anybody is interested in coming to a Carnage tournament, for teams, there is a reserve list. Just get in contact with him. There might potentially be mercenaries as well.
Then hopefully there'll be more stuff going forward next year.
Yeah, definitely. I think he's already started planning stuff for next year.
I mean, seeing the success of this one,
yeah.
I'd be heavily surprised not.
Yep, so would I. And I don't know, I can't remember the dates of the team tournament, but it might be interesting to see if we could potentially do something on that. But I also don't know because we've got a lot of stuff on this year already.
And it is very taxing streaming these events.
Yeah, you wouldn't. Okay. You wouldn't believe that sitting down and talking about Warhammer is, in fact, probably more tiring than playing the games.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I can quite happily do a 5-game tournament and have a nap at the end and be fine, right? I have to have a day's worth of sleep.
I crashed like a log and rock yesterday. That's how much
rog.
that. Yeah, a rock and log. A rog.
You're a rog.
Or a lock.
No, you're a rock. Rog. Yeah.
It was absolutely shattering.
Yeah, it is shattering. Absolutely. So, day 2 can be a little bit less energetic, but we have got an absolutely cracking game here to finish off It's been an awesome weekend. So thank you very much to all the players.
It looks like we're trying to see where that Bloodthirster can go, but we're not quite able to position it around anywhere with the Skull Altar at the moment.
Yeah. Hey, Broccoli Boy, how's it going? 76 players. I think it's 77 have turned up, but we had 81 registered.
I don't know if we failed to get the skulls off this time.
It looks like we are trying to get it done now.
No, we're into the movement phase, I think, of just seeing... Or we might be using a hero move on the Bloodthirster here. But, you know, there is a lot of... there's a lot of accurate measurement going on here, just making sure they get everything right, making sure all their units are on the board correctly.
Yeah. Yeah. Broccoli Boy, you are correct. Alex always puts on a great event. Alex has done a very good job with this and has also managed to cater a lot better than usual, which is great because he's been given the option to do that, which is nice. The players seem to have loved everything about this event, the extra little bits here and there. It's just been fantastic and people have really, really enjoyed themselves. So it's nice to see, and I've definitely taken a lot of inspiration for the events that we run. Speaking of events that we run, if you are interested in coming to a hobby room event, yeah, that's right. What a segue. You can do exclamation mark events. Exclamation mark events. I think in the chat. I don't even remember. No. Wow. Hey, this link here in the chat right now. Thank God for a delay. That is a list of all the events that we have. We have a singles event and a doubles event hosted at Sutton and Ashfield. Singles is at the end of August. Doubles is in December. And then we have also got a midweek event, our second midweek event called Obliteration. Hosted here at Element Games in midweek October.
And there we go. Scarbrand is about to go in. We did manage to position that Bloodthirster at the top as well, so that he will be able to get that 3-inch charge.
Yep. Scarbrand needs to go in because of the battle tactic, right?
Yeah. I mean, with Monstrous Takeover, all it has to do is be on an objective that's not being contested by a monster. So the one that's just by the pedestal...
You have to control it as well. I believe.
We don't have the tactic cards. I believe...
Shall I look that wording up? I'll look that wording up.
You look the wording up. But regardless, he would have been able to get that lower down Bloodthirster on, if not Scarbrand.
Yeah, he's got the models to be able to put it on, and because of this mission, the only way to hold the objective is to is to have a hero on range.
Yeah. So now he has to make that charge because he's not actually on that objective yet. Because it's the 3-inch range this time, instead of the usual 6.
When you reveal this battle tactic, pick one monster from your starting army on the battlefield. You complete this battle tactic if that monster is contesting an objective that you control at the end of this turn.
Yeah. So he still could get that one if he needed to. Retreat the Slaughter Priest here. I mean, not retreat, but move him slightly round. And then touch the base.
Let's draw on the screen.
Move that slightly around and then touch the base of that Bloodthirster just to that inner ring. Just because it's the 3-inch instead of 6-inch.
Yeah, but you've got a 6-inch pylon on Scarbrand, haven't you?
Oh, yeah.
So you can just...
I mean, we're heavily assuming that we've got the Khorne Demon units compile in 6 instead of... Or fight from 6. I mean, I think it's fair to assume we've probably got that.
Why would you not? What are the other options? Hang on. Yeah, the Whipper, the Bloodthirster.
So the Insensate Rage is the one that's further down.
He did. I believe I did hear him say he whipped Scarbrand.
Oh, his command ability is which is it's just reroll charge rolls for a friendly Khorne Demon unit within 16. So he will be affecting that one.
That's the Insensate Rage. Look for the Unfettered Fury one.
The bigger.
There you go.
The Unfettered Fury, yeah.
Command ability. Use command ability at the... In fact, pop it up on the screen. Let's have a look at it. You can use this command ability at the start of the combat phase. If you do so, pick a friendly model wholly within 18 inches. That unit can pile in from 6 instead of 3, and can move an extra 3 when they pile in.
Yeah, so Scarbrand's in.
Which is a phenomenal pile in. It's not just you can pile in an extra 3, it's you can pile in from 6... an extra 3.
He's done already again.
Yeah. He's not the first one done, though.
We've just come into the top of turn 2, and they're done.
So I think our good old friend Tom Waller has just gone 4-1. Carragon, who we usually have join us on the stream here for a lot of our coverage, other than basically when I've not got the luscious locks of Moog, I've got the dulcet tones of Carragon here on screen with me, and he's just gone 4-1 at the event with Flesh Eater Courts, which is really good.
No, I mean, I'm a big fan of Flesh Eater Courts.
Nubgun, yes, I do have Facebook events for all of the events that we run. I will link them and make sure I link those to the event page. But if you give me half a second, I'll be able to throw them straight into the chat for you. You guys are all welcome. If you've got any questions, feel free to drop me a line about the event. And you guys have 45 minutes left to get your entries in. Go, go, go! Sorry. As you were, we've seen... Okay, sorry. For those who don't play Nurgle, this is an indication of what we call a disease token. So you gain disease by multiple ways. Hitting on sixes, being there, completing a charge move, and being in range at the end of the combat phase.
Yeah, various spells as well.
Yeah, to give you disease points. And what that happens is in the Battle Shock phase, at the start of the Battle Shock phase, you roll a number of dice equal to disease points. Every 6 is a mortal wound, or is it every 5 is a mortal wound? And then you reset the counter to 1. You never get rid of it, you just reset the counter to 1.
So we're seeing the Bloodthirster going up top. And he doesn't have to charge Scarbrand, he can just pile in later. Yep. So he doesn't even have to give the Beast of Nurgle a chance to fight Scarbrand before. I mean, to be fair, it probably would do him a little bit of a favour, make Scarbrand a bit angrier and do a bit more damage.
Yep.
So we'll see if the Bloodthirster up there manages to do a number. I'd assume he's putting everything into the hero, because I certainly would, because I wouldn't want that, no command ability and a 4-out ward on the board for a long duration of time. I think we're just counting up what we've done mortal wound wise.
There is a lot. 10 million mortal wounds, thanks.
10 million?
Yeah, 10 million.
Yeah, so unmodified wound rolls of 6 do mortal wounds to equal to this little chart here that I'll bring up.
Every unit?
Every unit within 8.
Yeah, it's really good. Four mortal wound splashes.
He's not been bracketed, so 4 mortal wounds to everything within 8. That's an enemy. An enemy. And they can reroll hit rolls of 1 because they charged in the same turn.
What about Scarbrand?
Oh, well, Scarbrand. Let's get to him before he goes in, because Scarbrand can do a nice bit of work for him.
I mean, he's probably going to go through the Beast of Nurgle, right? That's safe to assume.
You would hope so. But let's not forget, even though Scarbrand hasn't taken any wounds, he is on his lowest profile. Scarbrand gets more dangerous as he gets angrier and angrier throughout the game.
Yeah.
So the more wounds he suffered, the better he is.
Which is weird, because it's usually the other way around, right?
You've got outliers, so Mangler Squigs are best at middle ground.
Yes.
And then get worse at their worst and best.
Yep.
But Scarbrand, he's got a little ranged attack that can do some mortal wounds. Other than that, he's got the Slaughter Axe, which is a 2-inch range and gets the amount of attacks equal to the chart of how many wounds he suffered. So more attacks, more hurt he is.
Yep.
Then they're on 4s and 3s, minus 2, 3 damage.
Yeah.
And that should absolutely smash through a Beast of Nurgle. He can reroll charges innately.
Sorry. Total Carnage. Do not use this attack sequence for an attack made with Carnage. Instead, roll a dice. The target suffers 8 mortal wounds if the roll is equal to or greater than the Carnage value. If the roll is a 6, the target suffers 16 instead.
And let's not forget, Scarbrand's Rage. If he didn't attack last turn, treat him as being his best profile. Or well, his worst profile. So he does max attacks if he didn't attack last turn.
Which is what will be happening because he didn't attack last turn.
Yep. It does say from the second combat round, or from the second battle round.
Right,
But yes, he didn't attack round 1, so he will be getting that benefit here. So he's getting his 9 attack. So the Beast of Chaos should be nothing more than I don't know what he is. He's already pulp anyway.
No, he's animated pulp.
He's animated
He'll
pulp.
Be unanimated pulp.
Unanimated pulp next. So it doesn't look like the Bloodthirster up there has done much significant damage to the Nurgle. They are really, really tanky.
Yeah, the 5-up ward in the army is pretty gnarly.
The 4-up on the general, and not being able to give him the +1 to attack as well.
Yeah, massive. And then the 6-inch piling from Scarbrand to claim that, get his monstrous takeover, hold 1, hold 2, hold more. One of the big problems that Gabe's going to find, I think, here, unless he manages to do a couple of double turns, is that it's going to be really difficult to shift some of these Bloodthirsters and things like that off the objectives.
I think we've done Carnage first.
He rolled a 6.
Well, he only needs to roll a 1-up.
Did you just roll a 6? Oh, okay. Sorry, they're just rolling about mortal woundage.
Yeah, so Carnage at the moment will be on a 1-up, so 2-ups, because 1s always fail.
Ones always fail to hit. This isn't a hit roll. You don't use the attack sequence.
Oh, yeah. So it automatically does the damage. It automatically does the mortal wounds.
Yes.
It's just seeing if it does 16 instead of 8. Really?
Gabe's pretty shocked at this because he's not actually played against this before. Or in a while, I think he said.
The reason we don't see Scarbrand right now, range attacks. Because Scarbrand is fairly slow.
Yeah.
I mean, he's got a move of... For some reason, I can't see his move on the wall scroll.
Oh, what?
I can't see his move on the wall scroll, so I assume it's probably about a 10.
Something like that.
I mean, he's not the fastest, and in this meta where you see your Stormcast long strikes who can put out, 20 damage in the hero phase before the game even starts, too slow to get across the board.
I don't think he's even 10, because his wings don't work, do they?
His wings don't work. No, he does have broken wings. So he might be an 8-inch move.
I don't even know if it's that much. Oh, I just searched Bloodthirster. Scarbrand's move is 8.
8-inch, and it doesn't degrade.
Doesn't degrade, no.
I just need to fix that on our little thingy.
No, it'll be changing over to the other one soon.
Oh yeah. Yes. So yeah, he's not fast. He's not fast.
He's a pretty slow boy.
Yeah, and in this, as we said, in this thing where you've got long strikes, he dies turn 1.
Yeah.
for the most part, because no one is really going to let Scarbrand get that close to them. Not if they're playing a ranged army.
Yeah.
I mean, anyone that knows Khorne knows you don't let a Bloodthirster get close to you.
No. I think they just removed the Beast of Nurgle off to the left-hand side. I think Gabe just went, okay, yeah, I'll take all those mortal wounds.
Yeah. I think that's very fair. Right, we've also seen the Fleshhounds go into the Plague Bearers. Of course, they won't be able to pile in either if the Sloppy Bar Piper announces his love is like a ripe fart.
Is it ripe, or is it just ripe?
Ripe.
Double
It's
ripe.
double ripe. That's why you can't get closer.
Fair. They're just discussing and finalising a couple of things there between them. The Khorne ran into any strong shooting armies yet to get this match. Let's have a look at the Khorne's path to victory.
I will bring it up. Bear with me.
Okay, so the path to where we are for both of these players we'll go through, because it's quite an interesting thing. Let us start with...
We can work backwards. We know he was against Archeon last game.
Well, let's just start at the start.
Yep.
Just go to the rounds and then just search Calvin. So, round 1. We had Calvin face against Tom Healy in round 1, who has... Let's work together on this.
Doop-a-doop-doop-doop.
Oh, the internet here is...
Slow.
A little bad. Tom Healy was running Soulblight Gravelords.
Yeah, so that looks like a pretty traditional list. You got Double Dragon with Blood Knights and Zombies.
Pretty standard.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not surprised if we're going full combat into Khorne.
Yep. What was Calvin's round 2?
Round 2. Mark Padden.
Mark Padden, that's Fire Slayers.
Yeah.
I know that very much. It's the pretty standard Magma Drop spam with a Hearthguard Berserker block in the middle.
Round 3, Nelly.
Adneth Deepkin. We had them on game 1 yesterday.
And then we know game 4, Archeon.
Archeon. And the last game was Archeon. And what has Big Gabe's path to victory been so far?
So, actually, just to answer the question, there was quite a lot of shooting in that Idneth list.
Yeah, there was like 6 sharks.
Yeah, 5 sharks and
an Alapex.
Yeah.
Yeah. So a relatively large amount of shooting in that one.
Right, and then the Maggotkin.
The Fire Slayer's not really much shooting. So I think he's probably looked out a little bit on his draw, but it's all part of the tournament. Right. So Gabe played against Nagash in turn 1. And in a Nighthaunt army, in Nagash with the Spirit Host spam. Game 2, he played against Flesh Eater Courts, which is the only loss that Carragon or Tom Waller had. Game 3, Gabe managed to beat Mike Stewart, who was playing Idoneth Deepkin again, running a bit of a Glass Hammer army. And then game 4, he played Idoneth Deepkin again and played against Russ Veal. So both of them have had not walkovers, but also not the hardest matchups, I don't think. For all of their games. I'm talking all of their games.
Yeah. To be fair, I'm not really sure where the Stormcasts have ended up in this tournament, to be
Whack the
honest.
ladder up. Let's have a look. Search for Stormcast. The ladder is currently hidden for you. Get wrecked, kid.
What can I say?
Alex has done nothing but work with us for this event, which has been really, really nice. Stormcast Eternals, currently we have got a player in 17th, 24th, 36th, 37th, 60th, and 66th. They have done no better than the top 17
Which
at the
is
moment.
surprising, because I know a fair few of these lists did have all the traditional mainstays of a very competitive Stormcast army.
There is a single Krul's Boy army, Jamhadar. It is Bill Inglis. He is a wonderful gentleman, and he is currently 69th. Oh, our view top has gone down. Give me half a split second.
So we're just seeing the disease rolls come out at this point for the Bloodthirster. We've just lost the view right. We've just gained back the view right.
And we've got our view top back.
So we're seeing just a couple of dead Plague Bearers. And they're now going to have to pile into the Fleshhounds due to the way that they've picked. But there again, the way that they're still deployed, while the Bile Piper is playing his smelly fart tune, unfortunately, those units, or the unit of Blood Reavers, is still within the 3 for combat, so they actually cannot do anything whatsoever.
Well, they can hit with the one guy.
They can hit with the one guy.
If they're in range.
Yeah, they're not. They've got one.
One of the best things about the Bile Piper is being in a position where you can just sit there and sort of span out as much as you can. You're locked in 3, however, you haven't got the ability to pile in, which means your range 1 is useless, which means that unit is useless.
Yeah. So I just imagine hard. What we're going to see Scarbrand just make his way over here and finish that unit off.
Yeah.
Yep. I find it hard to imagine. I mean, obviously these are going to start coming in this way.
But Gabe has a turn to do something.
Oh yeah. This is what I mean. These are going to start coming in this way. They're going to try and finish off that Bloodthirster there. I mean, they will do it. I don't think there's much of an argument about that. Is the Great Unclean One going to start making his way here? Can he make his way through those Blood Warriors? Without a doubt. Will he manage to get to the point where he can kill the Slaughter Priest?
No, because it's right in that melee.
No, because he is Rotigus, so his weapon, I don't think he's not too good at melee. He's a pure caster.
Yeah.
He's then also got the Bloodthirster to worry about behind it.
Why do your arrows look like dead fish?
Poor equipment. At least I can draw an arrow.
They don't look like dead fish. There. Yeah. There you go. You got it.
That's my battle plan. The tree is going to move.
Pretty much. Well, thank you very much, everybody, for joining us here today. We are Game 5 of Mancunian Carnage, UK's biggest tournament this weekend. We have got Table 1, fighting for a podium. In fact, fighting for a podium nearly guaranteed. Fighting for a gaming podium. We've got Gabe Huddlestone versus Calvin. I can't remember Calvin's surname. I feel really bad. I'm sorry, Calvin. Versus Calvin Smith.
So,
Khorne, Nurgle.
So after this turn for the Khorne, we got one more Blood Tide point.
Yep.
So we're at 3.
I'm just going to double check if they did the battle tactic. I'm pretty confident they did.
So what you can get for your 3 Blood Tides is Murderlust. You can pick one Friendly Blades of Khorne unit to make a normal move. If it's within 12, it can make a normal move or attempt a charge. So we might be looking to that next turn, potentially, where if Scarbrand manages to get around here, if there isn't much more on the tide, we might get to see him do, maybe like an additional move around here, so that he's in position to try and maybe take out that Bilepiper, which means, the middle of his board can start moving and splaying out all over the face. I'm going to keep drawing these apparently dead fish arrows while he's gone, because, I think everyone knows it's an arrow. So yeah, what are we looking for?
The players have scored this wrong.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Why so?
Well, they've said that that Calvin have you been drawing arrows on the screen whilst I've been away?
No.
Oh. Dodgy's just on a delay. They said that Calvin didn't get his battle tactic because he made a pile-in move onto the objective, not a move. But I'm pretty confident the only move that you have to do on it is a non-retreat move. A friendly unit finishes a move other than a retreat move within 3.
Yeah.
Is a pile-in a move?
Yeah, piling's a move. Where's our friend the rules man?
Oh, where is Tom? Tom!
We're just figuring out, did he get this objective?
I just want to ask Tom if he did. Right, I'm going to give the headset to Tom. And you and him can have a quick chat about it.
Oh.
There you go.
I see.
Talk about Apex.
Talk about Apex?
Yeah. Can I borrow you on here for a second?
Oh, lordy.
Don't forget to unmute.
Right. Bear with us 1 second, stream. Okay, I think you're up.
Hello.
Hello. Right, so we've just come to an interesting point in this game between Nurgle and Khorne, where we've had Scarbrand fight his way onto this objective in Apex Predators. But the players have decided that Scarbrand has not scored the battle tactic. Does, in your, professional rules opinion, do you consider a pile-in move a normal move for
Yes.
purposes of... Yeah.
Because it doesn't specify a normal move, it specifies any kind of move.
A move other than a retreat.
Yes.
And a pile-in is considered a move, in your
yes.
opinion.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So the
100%.
players decided it wasn't.
Okay.
I
think that's the wrong call, but if that's the call the players are happy with.
Yeah. I was of the same opinion. I thought it probably was. Yeah, as long as it isn't a retreat. Yeah, fine. I'd say, would you consider a setup a move from
No,
a
a
deep
setup
strike?
is definitely not a move.
No.
Because it's a setup.
Yeah.
So you can't do things like redeploy off a setup either.
Yeah, yeah. It's just all these different rules interactions that, of course, not everyone knows all the nuances between a setup and the normal move, the retreats, and everything. So, just to Mr. Ben, we are of the opinion. He's running around like a buffoon. We are both of the opinion that a pilot move is indeed valid for this battle tactic.
Yes, I also think it is valid. However, the players don't seem to think so. Obviously, we're not going to get involved at this time, but that is what they have ruled, and there you go.
It'll be interesting to see if that comes into play in the final scorings.
If 2 points really makes a difference, in fact, it's not 2 points, it's more than 2 points. Hold 1, hold 2, hold more, and then the 2 points of battle. So it's an extra 4 VPs that Calvin could have had over Gabe at this point.
So it will be interesting to know if that will affect the final outcome.
I want to stay here.
Not jumping in. Thank you.
Indeed. Congratulations on you 4-1.
with Flesh Eater Courts, no less. Thank you very much, Carragon, there for jumping on that. I appreciate that so much. Praise to him. Can't see me, I'm praying to him.
The man's a rules god.
Yeah, absolutely.
You got a query? Go to him.
It was nice seeing 2 people that wasn't me here as well.
Well. Right, so we're now into Nurgle's turn. Then they've picked Bring It Down. We're gonna, probably assume that that's going to be the top Bloodthirster.
Yep, it is. He has taken 11 wounds.
Yeah, so he's pretty much as close to dead as he can be, and it's hard to imagine this not dying this turn. Of course, there is a chance, but...
Yep, 12.2, Dodgy says air piling is a move.
Okay.
What are you doing with my super glue?
I need to use it in a minute.
For what?
Stuff. I'll tell you later.
Okay. I'm so very confused. Moog is gluing his feet back on. So yeah, there is 11 wounds taken on that Bloodthirster, which is pretty dire. It went in the combat phase. It went into that Beast of Nurgle and that Lord of Affliction, and it hit the Lord of Affliction.
Yep.
6 times. Gabe then saved 4 saves.
Yep.
It did 8 damage.
Yep.
Gabe saved 7 wards. So after all of that, only 1 point of damage went through onto that Lord of Afflictions.
Yeah, I mean, it speaks mountains about how powerful ward saves are at the moment.
Ward saves are massive, but also rolling hot. Being able to save 4 of those saves for a start, massive.
I don't think ward should go as high as 4 personally, but there we go. It's what the game designers have decided to keep implementing.
Mr. Bloodwrath is back.
Right, so now, of course, Scarbrand can leave that point and leave Scar just to hold it.
Scar will have to make a move, though, on it.
I'm sure he will do a little shimmy to the left, a little shimmy to the right, do-si-do, and something else.
No, shake to the left if you're having a good time, shimmy to the right if you know what it feels right.
Well, he's just come back from the dead, so I'm assuming he's probably, having a fairly good time.
Yeah, it has been pretty interesting to watch that, to be fair. But yeah, it does mean that Scarbrand now has the opportunity to, as you say, swing across the battlefield here, maybe get through those Plague Bearers quicker than Gabe would hope, or even potentially bounce into Rotigus, which would be quite nice.
I mean, again, it's also going to depend on how much more dies this turn, so we can see what we can do with different values of the Blood Tide.
Yeah.
Right now, we've got the potential to move and charge in their hero phase, or move or charge, sorry. So even giving him the extra move would then, in his turn, give him the extra range to get round to the Sloppy Bile Piper, absolutely medulla him, and free up the whole of the middle.
You could potentially shoot him off the board, right? If you max everything.
I don't know. I can't remember exactly how much threat Scarbrand's missile weapon is at max. Roar of Total Rage.
5.
It's a potential 5, which could kill him. It's unlikely.
I think the Sloppy has 6. The Sloppy Bile, however... Oh no, have 5 wounds.
Yeah.
5 wounds.
It's potential, but then he's got his 5-up ward. It's unlikely.
Yep.
Because you've got to roll 5, all of them be 4-ups, and then him fail all of the 5-ups.
Yeah.
But it could happen. We could also see the other blood tithe bits pay off. You can do mortal wounds if enough dies this turn.
Yeah.
For 4, we could see a Blades of Khorne unit pile in an attack.
That's huge. Is that in the hero phase? You spend them in the hero phase, right?
Yeah, at the start of a hero phase.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Free pile in an attack.
Yeah. And that's 4 points. But again, don't forget that your entire point pool is eliminated no matter how many you have.
How many wounds does a Bloodthirster have? Is it 14? Yeah.
Well, Scarbrand certainly has 14.
I imagine it'll be 14. Because that Bloodthirster has now got
12.
12 taken. I think he did both shooting attacks on it, and only did 1 wound from one of them.
Right,
There's
so
the charge.
Clean one going.
Mountain of Rotten Flesh, I think it is.
So it's a better impact hit.
Sorry, your Mountain of Loathsome Flesh. You can carry out this monstrous rampage. So this is Rotigus going in. You can carry out this monstrous rampage with instead of any other one. You pick an enemy unit within 3 inches, roll a dice. On a 2-up, they suffer a number of mortal wounds equal to the Mountain of Loathsome Flesh on the damage table. That'll be 4 mortal wounds at this point.
Is he within that 2-inch range to pretend? No, he's not within the 2 to hit the hero.
Remember your opponent's surname.
Alex just reminding people to remember your opponent's surname.
So, I imagine we're probably going to see a lovely red mist of blood reavers in a minute. It looks like he actually chose the flesh hounds to be the target of the bulk.
Yeah, because the Plague Bearers can probably finish them off in combat relatively easily. They don't need to make that pile in. They're holding that objective down quite nicely. And Rotigus is in that position where if he kills this unit, what he can then do next turn, if Gabe gets the double turn, is pile in this way and kill this, holding the objective, then scoring it for Gabe.
Yeah.
I think that's the game plan looking at it here.
So we're going to be at 4 blood tithes at the moment. Assuming that this Bloodthirster does in fact die, we'll be at 5. If the Plague Bearers finish that unit of Flesh Hounds off, we're at 6.
Yep.
So that would be you can fight before you die on the blood tithe chart. Otherwise, you've got the big old brass skull meteor, which is pick 1 unit anywhere in the battlefield. They suffer D3 mortal wounds, and everything within 8 on a 3+ takes a mortal wound. So,
or roll a 6 and it's D3 instead.
Yeah, it's not the best for a 5. Not the best.
So you only generate blood tithe if things die, right?
Yes. Once a unit is slain. The
That's a
whole
shame.
unit.
It's not like depravity points then when you just hurt yourself.
No, I think the blood tithe is definitely the most restrictive of the gods at the moment.
Okay, here's a question. What if they made it so that you gained 2 every time a unit died instead of 1?
Then I think it becomes too powerful with the summoning. I just think they need to be able to hold on to the points when, like, not have the chart reset to 0.
Yeah.
Like, that would honestly be fine.
Nobody else's does it?
No. Like, imagine if you saved up your 20 contagion points, but then summoned 3 Nurglings and it went straight back to 0.
Yeah.
So we do understand why, because Khorne was the first book, so they've had chance to improve things since then.
Khorne's book is so old now. Is it now the oldest book in the game with Caradron? Because it was Ideneth, but they've had a new book.
I feel like Flesh Eater Court. It's going to be Khorne and then Flesh Eater Courts, I think now.
Yeah.
Which is surprising because Flesh Eater Court still feels somewhat like a new tome, but it is one of the older ones now.
That's fair. The Bile Piper has played his tune. No piling in there for Calvin.
Colour me shocked.
Kelso So these are just going into Rotigus here. Only 4 hits. And 2 wounds.
Yeah, Rotagus has got a good save, and then he's got the after save as well.
Yep.
So,
Which he
fine.
saves on his ward, yep. One went through, saved one on the ward. Now this is Rotagus going to be slapping back. Going all in on the big unit of Flesh Bearers. D3 attacks with the Fang Maw. The 3s to hit.
Mm-hmm.
And then 3s to wound. So that's 2 damage each, so 4 dead. And 3s again. This is the Gnarl Rod. He tanked all of the Gnarl Rod. That's huge.
Who was it into?
This is into the flesh, the blood warriors at the top.
Okay. They managed to tank it with wind.
Yeah.
Crikey.
Not blood reavers, blood warriors. The armored ones.
I know, but they're still not, you know.
They're
much.
4 up, I think, aren't they?
Yeah.
And he all out defensed, so he's
Oh,
on
you're
a
out
5.
defense.
Yeah,
as well.
yeah.
Okay.
All 3 from the Nurglings go through. Okay.
He's freeing himself up here from the no piling as well.
He is not,
No?
because Rotagus is a demon.
Is he still wholly within 14 as well?
I reckon he's got to be, surely. Maybe? Oh, maybe not, actually. You might be right there, Moog. If that is 12...
Nah, there's no way he's wholly within 14.
Yeah, I reckon he is. I reckon he is.
Wholly?
I reckon that's 12. And then I reckon that's no more than 2 inches. Yeah, I reckon he's just in. Are we doing this again? I reckon
Just 14 is far too big of a radius.
by a millimetre, I reckon he's in.
14 is so big of a radius.
He's either in or out by a fraction. It is huge. I'm not gonna lie, it is massive.
Like, it is over a quarter of the board, that radius.
Yeah. No.
Yeah.
Under. Well,
44.
the quarter. Well, 60.
Yeah.
Which quarter?
Well, that way, because we're going up.
Yeah. Okay. Going up.
Yeah.
Yeah. But going sideways, it's not.
Well, yeah, but, you know, if it was over this way, it would be, but no, it's diagonal.
Yeah. It's quite a lot at this point, to be fair. But I don't think you could do wholly within 7. I think you could probably get away with within 7.
Nah. Hard nerf it. Hard nerf
You're
it.
just salty. That's the problem.
No, I think that should have to be close to them. You know, how's he, you know, hearing that tune all the way over there?
He's got bagpipes, my dude. Have you ever heard bagpipes?
Yeah. You ever heard the, you know, 20 half-naked barbarians screaming at you during that as well?
Yeah.
Yeah, you've been in that situation. Lots of fart noises and lots of screaming barbarians.
Mm-hmm. That's pretty much how this works.
It's every single time we play League.
So he's just going through his disease points now.
Yep.
Kills a flesh hound and leaves one on a wound. Oh, disease just chipping away. One of the best things about disease is you sort of disease as many units you can in the army in turn 1 and 2, and then turns 3 and 4, your opponent's army just dies. it just dies.
Yeah.
Because there's mortals here, mortals there, mortals everywhere. So they're just doing battle shocks now.
Mm-hmm.
Inspiring presence in the middle to keep them around. That should give Gabe that 5 points. So hopefully he should be able to hit the little hold 1 on the app. And then he should be on 8 to 6 going into turn 3. Now, Apex Predators. Not all primary objectives.
No. I could see what the I could see what the dice was with that.
So Gabe rolled a 2.
Yeah.
Gabe has decided. Yeah, perfect. Gabe rolled a 2. Calvin rolled a 1 on the objective. Gabe gave it away, and he's deleted that objective. One of the biggest benefits about going second in this objective mission is that he can now stop those extra points being scored for holding more and holding 2.
Poor Scar Brother. He's just come back and now he's doing nothing.
Yeah, but what it does do is it frees both of them up to be able to go and do whatever they want to do.
Yeah, they can go pile into that block of Plague Bearers, wipe them out. Hopefully next turn, get into that Great Unclean One or the Bile Piper and just absolutely smush his face in.
It is a proper feels bad. Proper feels bad. But rolling a 1 against a 2. But I will be right back 1 sec.
So what do we see here this time? I would assume that we might see a retreat move come out from the Blood Warriors, just so we can fit that Bloodthirster into the Great Unclean One. Obviously, I think we're going to see Scarbrand come up this way. Let's not forget we've also got the 5 Blood Tithe points, so we could be spending some to get him an extra move, so that we can potentially get that double move and easily get into here. I don't think we've got much else realistically we want to do right now with those Blood Tithes. Just if one more unit had died, maybe there would have been something different to do. But otherwise, if we're keeping them for summoning, he could summon potentially a Skull Cannon, some Blood Crushers this time. But I don't know if we rate those or some Bloodletters high enough to be using our points for that anyway right now.
Probably not. Yeah, sorry, I was just making sure they got the points right. They did.
So, as I said while you were gone, I think here is where we potentially see a double move with the Blood Tithe on Scarbrand.
Get him where he needs to be.
Get him where he needs to be. Retreat stuff out so that Scarbrand can go on that Great Unclean One.
On the Rotagus.
Or the Plague Bearers, yeah.
I think you need to get rid of the Rotagus because if you look at this mission, it's all about scoring with heroes.
Yeah.
So you get rid of the heroes, you get rid of the Sloppity, you get rid of as much as you can.
Oh, you're going to see him going, or is that going to be Scar potentially? No, we're looking at we're measuring up the move for the Scarbrand going under the forest.
Definitely are. He doesn't fly, so he's got to go round.
That's why I think we should retreat out these units that are in combat.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think you try and retreat these as much as you can. Use a hero phase move to move him 8 this way. Then in your move phase, move this. If these are in 3, keep them there so that you can't do a redeploy with the Rotagus. And then in your turn, you can charge in and get in there. But the Bloodthirster of Insensate Rage, the one that does all the splash mortal wounds, has died.
Yeah.
Which is huge.
Yeah, it's a shame. But let's not forget, with the Bloodthirster that is alive, Scarbrand's also got that 6-inch piling still.
Yeah, providing he's in range, which he probably will be.
But there again, he starts farting, you can't pile into him. Actually, bring up the Soffit Bile Piper for clarification one more time, because I hate this rule and need to 100% within 3, so they can pile in because he's not within 3.
Well, he won't be at that
6.
point. Yeah, he'll be within 6.
Haha. Workarounds.
Very much, very much. Dodgy, this is indeed a chance at a podium. This is potentially to take the event as well. There are currently 5 players on 4 and 0. 5 players, which means that there is the there's got to possibly be 3 players that are going to be 5 and 0 at the end of this, which could be the podium spots. There could also only be 2, but there are also painting scores to take into account as well. So he's choosing skulls for the Skull Throne.
Okay.
Which is kill as his battle tactic, which is kill 8 models.
Okay. So we did see that White Dwarf one come in.
Yeah.
Good thing we looked them all up.
just because it's massively thematic.
Hmm.
Just eyeballing the table, it looks like Khorne is done for. Is this an accurate assessment of the game? Charles, I'd say there's definitely play for Khorne here. One of the big things are so this objective isn't here anymore. That's one of the big things to remember. So there's only 2 available on the battlefield. Currently, Calvin holds this one, so he's at least getting 1 point a turn. He's chosen to try and get a battle. He missed a battle tactic early on, which is kind of hurting him. But we can probably see Scarbrand come this way. I think he will probably kill Rotagus in one shot.
Will he, if he's going for the battle tactic for kill 8?
Probably not, but I think what you could do is you could... There is the potential... Oops, sorry. There is the potential for Khorne to completely clear this section of the board, only leaving Gabe with this. I genuinely believe that there is the combat prowess in his army to be able to do that. If he did that, he would then be able to push through on this side, turns 4 and 5, and take the win by a fraction with a couple of VPs.
Do you think we might potentially see saving of the Blood Tide this turn, moving Scarbrand up, and getting a charge in with a potential? No, he's not going to be within a move and a 6-inch pile-in into those, is he?
Well, he can be a run and a 6-inch pile-in.
Can he run and pile in?
Well, why wouldn't you be able to? You're allowed to run and pile-in? How do you think zombies do it?
Oh, yeah, of course. The classic zombie.
He could auto-run
command
6.
point himself to 6.
So he's got a 14-inch move to get him, like, here.
Is that his run?
And then you've got an auto pile-in
That
6.
maybe
here.
for the skulls.
Yeah, probably trying to summon the skulls back up.
Because he can block movement with the skulls as well, don't forget. Because you can't end your movement on the skulls. So he could block the Maggoth Riders and potentially start blocking stuff in at the top.
Yeah, very possibly. Very possibly.
But back to what I was saying. If he's going for the kill 8 this turn, does he run Scarbrand up? Does he get them into those Plague Bear? He runs Scarbrand down. Okay, well, my suggestion would have been to run the Scarbrand up, get him round into those Plague Bearers, hold off till next turn, where he can then choose the Apoplectic Frenzy to get a pile in and attack in their hero phase. Because as it's in the hero phase, there is nothing stopping him pile in, because the pile in cancellation rule is only in the combat phase. So it's another way around it, that he could get into killing all those Plague Bearers and then get into the Great Unclean One the turn after. But we'll see what he's attempting to do with Scarbrand getting around there. I'm not entirely sure it's what I would have done, but he's clearly got a plan.
Yeah, it's definitely not what I would have done. I would have ran him down, either down the side, removed the things in the middle, whatever.
But no, you missed what I was getting at while you were gone, which is
Sorry,
obviously retreat all that, get Scarbrand into the Plague Bearers to get your tactic this turn,
Yep.
and then in their hero phase, you pop the Apoplectic Frenzy to pile in, because he can pile in, it's not the combat phase.
Yes, he's not played this tune.
Yeah.
Definitely.
And that way you can get into Rotagus as well and start peeling off both units within a turn.
Yeah, there's ways and means around it.
So we see that come in there.
Massive thank you to Beardy JC as well for donating £10. I'm going to do this shout out before you crack on, saying there's only 5 minutes left, chat. If you want to get your entries into winning a Echoes of Doom battle box, feel free to !battle box. All the details are there. You can email in for a free entry, or every £5 donated gets you entries in as well. Echoes of Doom, the Skaven versus Sylvaneth box. Great box. Sorry, carry on.
Yeah, so you say that you might Reaper's Scarbrand. I assume that you mean the Reapers of Vengeance command ability, which is to let them fight
In the hero
after the
phase.
first time.
Oh, so you double fight.
Yeah.
Right.
In which case, I mean, in my eyes, it shouldn't have made the... so he has gone the extra 6 with the run there, and he is within the 6 for the pile-in. So he's just gone around the back instead. So...
I'm sorry, Calvin's just gone, if I can't make a 6-inch charge with a reroll, I'm a disappointment to my dad. Oh, sorry. So it's only a 6-inch charge. Scarbrand can run and charge, can't he?
He also has he has passive rerolls as well.
Yeah.
He doesn't need to command point it.
Oh, that's great. That is great. Thanks, Noel. And also thank you very much to everybody who's followed today as well. Yeah, we're on to the final game of the day. And we're going to see, you can see Scarbrand looming in the back left-hand side of the screen just there. Which is pretty nice. Scar Bloodwrath is moving up there. And they get to get rid of that objective finally.
You know what we have seen with the addition of those skulls?
Yep.
Great and Clean can't pile in to attack the hero.
Oh, hang on. You are correct, yeah.
Really good use of the Endless Spell.
Is there a way to get rid of the invocation?
Nope.
Amazing use of the invocation.
I don't know if other priests can. You know, priests don't come along very often. So I don't know if priests can pray the enemy ones. I think each turn the Khorne player has to roll to see if they persist.
Oh, right, okay.
But this is a really, really good use of these spells to block off the pile-in.
You don't necessarily need it for the mortal woundage or anything like that. You just want to keep it around so that it stops them being able to do that. It's clever.
Not just for him, for the fly, for the beast of Nurgle.
Yep.
And now we see the daisy chain of dogs going in to further just protect it.
Yeah.
So if he wants to come in, he has to tag in a Bloodthirster. If you tag in the Bloodthirster, it can make him fight.
Yeah. I think here that Calvin is doing the best with what he's got available to him, and he's really, really trying to pull out all the stops. And, you know, we were talking about there's the potential for Gabe to pen Calvin in this side. Well, now there's a real potential in the turn after the movement of Gabe not being able to do anything but sit there.
I mean, let's not forget, Nurgle has the contagion points and can summon as well.
Definitely can, yeah.
But what's he summoning into? The Wrathmongers at the back of the Bloodthirster and Scar Bloodborne, which would be really helpful if he died and came up towards the other
is he
side.
Summoning a hero up here so that in turn 4 the brother can move off and do what he needs to do?
Potentially. I mean, bring in yourself a little Herald of Nurgle or something.
I might do. Maybe to help you. So we're also on turn 3 of the wheel now, aren't we, as well?
Yeah, so we're on turn 3 of the wheel. Let me just crack open the old book for Maggotkin. Cycle of Corruption. At the start of your hero phase, roll a number of dice equal to the number current bet round. For each 4+, you receive extra CP.
So 3 dice, potentially more CP.
Yep.
For things like all that defense, all that attack, auto rallying, auto running 6, re-rolling everything, all that sort of good stuff.
And then next turn we'll be looking at you can't issue rally or inflowing presence.
That's really good, right?
Yeah. Funnily enough, doesn't affect Bone Reapers because they don't care.
Yeah. Oh, the players have moved the close-up camera for me. Look at this. Oh, Gabe's army is gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous. It actually won coolest army that we voted for at the Warrior Lodge because it was so unique and different. Bright, neon, horrific colours. Gabe is also the man who has been 3D printing the terrain for us for our tables that we're going to be getting done so that we can bring stuff onto the live stream and not have to worry about taking up terrain from our hosts, which is quite nice.
In the back we can just see that looming Bloodthirster waiting to get stuck in.
Yeah. You know, turn 4. I mean, the problem is if Gabe gets a double turn here, right?
It entirely depends on if Scarbrand gets in and starts absolutely smashing his way through things.
Yeah, you're not wrong. Moog, whose game is it to lose?
I still say it can go either way here.
It's really difficult to call it at this point, isn't it? Because I can see past the victory for both of them. We've talked about them. We've talked about what Calvin can do in his turn to be able to pursue a win and push Gabe back into his defences. We've talked about what Gabe can do to be able to continue to be annoying with the Plague Bearers and things like that in his. So I think it's a bit of anybody's game. And this is, you know, both of these players are 4-0. They're both vying for the 5-0.
I think if the players had gone with the verdict of the previous turn scoring of the Monstrous Takeover, I think Khorne would be in a really good position to take this.
I think it's possibly going to come down to those 2 VPs.
Yeah, it was +4. The control more.
Yeah, +4.
Yeah. That would have been massive.
The thing is, I I don't really even want to break it to Calvin if that is the case. Obviously, the players are playing it as they want to, but because he's already forgot to bring on a unit.
Mm. I mean, it is game 5. Weekends are long and do take that mental tax. So when it comes to game 5, the most important one is probably when you're the most worn out.
Yeah.
And that is when you forget to pop a unit on the board.
Hey, Calvin's just impressed he could potentially go 4-1 with Khorne. He's getting a nosebleed up here, he says.
Mm.
Yeah, it's going to be... Did he... Oh, no.
What?
Wait a minute. I was going to say, has he made his charge longer?
He did shoot at a unit with Scarbrand. I know that much.
Yeah, he shot at a unit. Kelso, thank you very much for your donation. You are in. He did shoot at a unit and made his charge longer.
Yeah, I think he did 2 mortal wounds to the Plague Bearers.
Yeah.
I thought he was shooting at the Sloppidopity,
No.
but he's not in range.
No, but that 6-inch charge is now no longer a 6-inch charge.
That'll be now 7, 8, depending on how
They're
they were.
32 more base.
Depending on how they were laid out, of course. But Scarbrand still does have the he's got the innate reroll on a 7-inch charge. He should be able to make it. And then not forgetting that he's still got all the blood tithes, so he could potentially move in their phase, charge, whatever he needs to do to get into it anyway. He's still got options. I still think maybe he should have gone around the top of the forest and retreated some units out so that he would have been able to swing in that way. Would have made it a lot easier. As long as he kept one unit in for these Plague Bearers so that they couldn't do a retreat move. But other than that, he should still make a 7-inch, hopefully. And certainly, he needs that 7-inch so that the next turn he can go in and hammer that Great Unclean One. What we're doing here.
Scarbrand failed his charge.
He did fail the re-rolling charges. Oh dear. Terrible, terrible news for Khorne. And with that, do I think it's anyone's game anymore? I think Scarbrand getting in this turn was crucial. I'd say this definitely swings it very hard into Nurgle's favour, especially if we see that double turn. Because Rotigus and those Plague Bearers should be able to take out that, first unit of Blood Warriors that are just here. Sure, they get into the Bloodthirster, but all they need to do is kill this little hero that's in that absolute mess of a circle I've made. All they need to do is kill the little Slaughter Priest that's hiding under the Bloodthirster's wing. And then they have got the point. At that point, he would then have to kill the Great Unclean One back. And, 20 wounds, regenerating, feel no pain. It's going to take a lot of work.
Yeah, so Trial of Skulls was not scored, unfortunately, there by Calvin. He failed his charge with a reroll. He didn't kill anything. It was only a 6-inch charge. There's a couple of hidden plague
under the tree.
Plague Bearers under the tree. Can you be of assistance?
You've just had the giant flag fall down on
us. I caught it. It's fine. It's fine. Yeah, a couple bits here and there have just not gone Calvin's way. Forgetting to do this. His dice are apparently abandoning him because he's not rolling very well. It's all a bit of a unfortunate circumstance there for Calvin.
Mm.
But to go 4-0 at an event with Nurgle, with Khorne is huge.
Certainly, certainly.
But it won't be when they get a new book, right? Because assumedly, it's going to be broken as all heck.
Well, we'll find out. We will find out that. They're not elves, so they don't get the preferential treatment.
Yep.
So they'll be bad.
Right. Okie dokie. If they do as they do with Nighthawk, it'll be a great book. I think there's a lot of things that we'd like to see. So Gabe obviously taking his turn. I think he's choosing his battle tactic as we speak. Which is unfortunate.
Yeah, I think Scarbrand not getting in that turn has really, really decided. As I said while you weren't here, the Great Unclean One, or the Plague Bearers, all they have to do now is pile in, kill. In fact, all he needs to do is monstrous action, and he can start piling in around and into that hero.
Yeah.
Plague Bearers, come back a little bit. They've got the space. He kills the hero with Rotogus, and then they've got to kill Rotogus.
The big problem
with the Bloodthirster.
The big problem is that you can just if you can keep denying Calvin. In fact, as long as you score the same as Calvin from here on out, you win.
Essentially, yes. Because they forgot about that. Because they misinterpreted the rules on the round 2. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not going to go and even talk to him about that because that'll break his little heart. And it would also change the game massively. Like, we wouldn't see the game currently played as it is, I don't think.
I don't think there would have been all that much of a difference. He still would have burned that objective, I feel, because the Nurgle weren't really ever in a position to go down and get that at this point.
Yeah, but I think Gabe's movements might have been a bit different. I don't think he maybe would have car crashed quite as hard in the middle.
I don't really think Nurgle had a different choice at that point.
Rotogus could have come down the bottom.
I mean, Rotogus is fairly slow. I don't think he would have made it down the bottom. I still think the right decision on the Nurgle's half, even if they did score the +4 points on the Khorne side, would have been to, give them the first turn and take away that objective. I just don't see Nurgle having the power to, number one, go and contest that middle objective without Rotogus and the pressure from the no command ability fly, and stopping all of the pile-ins from that sloppy Bilepiper. I don't really think much would have changed.
Okay, so Gabe's turn now.
Mm-hmm.
What does he do?
What does he do? All he has to do is pile in. That's it. Remove the Plague Bearers a tiny weeny bit. Let Rotogus get in there. He automatically monstrous rampages for 4 mortal wounds on those Blood Warriors. Piles into the hero, kills the hero, takes the point. Simple. I mean, he moves the Bilepiper up very slightly so that the aura stays, within hull for the Plague Bearer squad and the Great Unclean One. And we're back to stage 1 where nothing can pile in, nothing can do anything. You've got the one Bloodthirster going into a Great Unclean One, of which a Great Unclean One probably wins that matchup. Simply because of their durability and their, innately high damage and disease potential. I do think the Khorne book is completely outclassed by Maggotkin, in all.
I think there's a lot of things like ward saves and things like that are things like that have come into play in like newer books that older books don't necessarily have the option to have, and it has been a shame. I'd like to see some like on the charge effects from Khorne.
Yeah. I mean, they definitely need stuff to help out. It's without a doubt. I mean, it's shown in their overall win rates and such across all the tournaments.
But what about things like if you make an 8-inch charge, you get to, like Nighthawk is like a 10. Currently, it's a 10, and you fight, right?
8-inch charge, double your attacks, bam.
8-inch charge and fight, not double. I've not double the attacks. I'd fight at the start of the combat phase, or fight as soon as you've done the charge. That felt much more like a Khorne thing to me than a Nighthawk thing.
Yeah, but then you're getting points adjusted for an 8 on a dice roll. I think they'd obviously need a lot more.
No,
So
I'm talking 8
on
plus.
an 8? Is that a deny on an 8? With the general?
No.
No.
I'm talking an 8+. I'm not just talking an 8.
Oh, an 8+.
Yeah.
I'd say at that point it's too easy.
But that's not the average on 2d6. The average on 2d6 is 7.
There's a reason why it felt so good on a why Nighthaunt was 10+. I think 8+ is just a bit too much. 8+ happens with Are you talking unmodified?
Unmodified 8+. So it happens more often. Sorry, it doesn't happen as often as it wouldn't. Words. But then you obviously have the point adjustments on the models to be able to do that.
I'm not entirely sure. I'm not entirely sure I would like that.
Well, your choices are an 8 or a 16. Or a 24. They're your 3 choices.
I think every model should come in units of 8 in the book.
8 Bloodthirsters.
8 Bloodthirsters. You get 8 Bloodthirsters for the points. 8 Fleshhounds.
You can take Bloodshither Bloodthirsters.
Yeah. Thirsty Bloodthirsters. But this is why I'm not the AOS game designer. So, bam.
You just think everything that isn't Skaven is great, and you should nerf everything else.
See, +1 attack on 8 in charge isn't enough for such an uncommon role. And I don't agree with the pluses. I think if we're going to go fluffy into Chaos Gods, it needs to be that role exactly.
But then your points adjusting too much.
I know. It's a difficult
You
balance.
can't have
isn't it?
everything.
It's a difficult balance.
There is no such thing as perfect, because it'll offend somebody somewhere. Like, you've got a choice. You either got to take the points adjustment for the 8+, or maybe it's like on an 8+, you do D6 mortal wounds when you go in. On a monster or something.
8+, all hits are automatically wounds. You don't need to roll.
Just don't roll the dice.
Just don't roll the dice.
8+, remove your opponent's army.
Yeah. Absolutely.
But you have to deep strike 14 inches away. 16 inches away. You start off the board completely.
Every unit has a 3d6 charge. If you get a 16, delete the unit.
Every unit has a 3d6 -6 charge.
We're just going complicated here. Every unit has a 3d6 if A equals B minus X, where X is number of models in the unit divided by blood tithe points.
With the addition of the number of models in the target
Number
unit.
of units in the target unit.
Yeah.
Plus the amount of units that are already dead in the game.
Divided by your command point
Divided
total
by
at the
command
time.
point
Yep.
to the power of bloodthirsters on the field.
Yep. -1.
Of course.
Balanced. Yeah, pretty much. That's the basics of Age of Sigmar. Thanks for playing.
That's the advanced rule. That's worded awfully like an elven, ability.
No, that's worded awfully like anything in 40k.
Yeah, and that's just the basic move.
Yeah.
Characteristic.
And then you've got, in addition, at the end of it.
In addition, are you the Imperial version or the Chaos version? +1 wound if you're Imperial.
In addition, add 1 to this roll for every inch you are in height.
But you can't fight up buildings without spending command points.
No.
No matter how tall you are.
Nope.
Ridiculous.
Silly game. Anyway, broken ranks on the Fleshhounds. I believe that is a dead unit of Flesh, because there was only 3 there. I think he just shot them off the board. But I don't think he's going to get, if you can dodge a ball, you can dodge a wrench. Dodge a wrench, dodge a ball.
He's still got time. He can throw skulls.
Speaking of rolling dice, yesterday I was using a unit of 10 Sweeping Hawks, and each one got 4 shots. I cannot even remember the last time, if ever, rolling that many dice for 1 unit before. Then my Banshee's charge, it was getting 45 dice. It felt amazing. It feels great to roll that many dice. It feels sucky to watch your opponent roll that many dice.
Yeah, now play Orcs. And that's a small roll.
That's tiny, yeah. That is tiny. Well, here we have got Gabe trying to get through as many of the Fleshhounds and the screens and things like that as possible, so that he can get through to the character, which has redeployed off the objective.
It has gone off the point, but the Bloodthirster is also on the objective.
So the Bloodthirster's tipped it. The little guy has moved off. Got to hope for the best here. And the unit of 3 Nurglings was summoned down here by Gabe.
Yep.
to shield the Bile Piper a little more, who is now moved up here.
Yep.
And is now tooting his horn all this way.
Yep. So it's now covering the entire of everything that Nurgle has.
Pretty much. 130 point tax to have to position.
There are many things that I would say
There's a
about
lot of
that
things.
Bile Piper.
Yeah. Welcome to Nurgle.
I feel like Nurgle are quite a negative play experience army.
Potentially. They stop you from doing a lot of things.
They
you would
stop
like to
you
do.
doing a lot of things, and it's such a monotonous grind against them.
Okay, so Baz from the Warrior Lodge has gone 4-0-1 at this event.
So that's the one we talked about earlier, where they were against the Maggotkin.
Yes.
Yeah, so as we said, it wasn't a write-off at all for the Maggotkin there.
Oh, no, that's a different one.
Oh,
He
it's
was
a different
against
one?
Cities.
He was the 3-0-1 going into this game.
Mr. Curry played against Paul. Did you win? You won. Paul won, meaning that Ben, who was... So, Daughters of Cain versus Nurgle.
Yep.
The Nurgle won, so it made both of them 4-0-1.
Yep. That was
which
the
is
one we
huge.
talked about.
That was the one we talked
Yeah.
about. So now there is only 2 people potentially on 5-0.
Yes, which will be either a Cities of Sigmar or Maggotkin or Khorne.
Yeah, your 4-0s are Calvin Smith with Blades of Khorne, Gabe Huddlestone with Maggotkin of Nurgle, Freddie Leggett with Cities of Sigmar, Mike Wilding with Cities of Sigmar. That's it.
Who do you think's gonna? I mean,
Who I think is
who
going
do
to
you
take
think's gonna
it?
take it overall now? Do you want to update your?
We get an option to update here.
I mean, I'm sticking with Maggotkin.
Yeah, I'm definitely on Gabe's team here. Team Gabe.
Okay, you've admitted I was correct.
Actually,
Yeah.
actually, holy smokes, ladies and gentlemen! In the mirror match of the Cities of Sigmar, Freddie Leggett came out on top. We had him on stream last game.
Yep.
He beat the Phoenix Guard and went 5-0.
Yes, he did.
So he, barring painting and favourite player votes massively skewing it,
Yep.
he is currently podiuming.
Yes.
He is currently 1 or 2.
He's one of the top contenders for. If we just go purely on game score, not including everything. Of course, this tournament does include everything in the overall rankings.
Yep.
But if we go purely on game score, he's one of the 2 on 5-0.
Now, if Gabe wins this game with max score, so 40,
Yep.
which is 30 for winning,
Yep.
5 for getting his secondary, 5 for denying his opponents,
Yep.
he will get 165 points,
Yep.
which will put him above Freddie.
Yes.
No matter if Khorne wins or not, Calvin is the true MVP, bringing Khorne against the new Maggotkin. Hi, Cloud, you are correct. However, he also has had an over 10% points increase.
Yeah. But, still going this high with Khorne as an old battle tome coming up against these, it is tough.
Yeah.
And you've got to be a great player to still overcome those kind of.
The other thing to note is Gabe's strength of schedule is the highest in the tournament. Yeah, his SOS, or his strength of schedule, and his extended strength of schedule is one of the highest in the tournament. Certainly the highest out of the top 10 that I'm looking at right now.
But yeah, you've of course got your podium and winners, but you've got the winners of the heart and the winners of the tournament as well, in people's hearts.
Yeah.
And people love seeing the underdog. Tell me what the Skaven are at. Have they finished their game?
I can tell you
Have they finished their game? Did they go? What have they got?
that Johnny, don't look, I'm going to tell you.
I'm not looking.
Johnny hasn't finished his game yet. He's 2-2. 2-2.
Dang it, he lost the last game.
He's not finished his game yet.
No, he lost game 4 though.
Oh, yeah, he lost game 4.
Dang it, he can still 3-2 with
He can
Skaven.
still 3-2 with Skaven.
I don't care
which
what
is
place
huge.
he ends up, he's still the winner of my heart.
The spare player as well, by the way, ladies and gentlemen, is a young boy. I can't remember his name. But he has been also playing Skaven and been having some fun.
Yep, I mean, true.
Yeah.
True army choice of
What
heroes.
was the unit size, sorry, of the Fleshhounds?
Fleshhounds 5.
Was it only 5?
5.
Did he reinforce them?
No.
Are you sure?
2 units of 5.
We've seen a unit of 5 die.
Yep.
We've seen... Was it definitely 5?
Yes, it's definitely 5.
Okay, I need to be right back.
I don't know if there was a loose dog somewhere else on the battlefield. I don't know if there was one still stuck into the Great Unclean One. But yeah. So what happens this turn with the priorities going first? So Khorne getting the priority apparently. What happens here? We have to see Scarbrand come in and start absolutely annihilating everything. We have to see that Bloodthirster come in and potentially destroy that Great Unclean One. Unfortunately, because that fly is right here, and with his smelly old self, he is denying any use of command abilities around him. We may not be able to see all the extra like charge range and stuff, piling range, sorry, come into use. We'll see what battle tactics the Khorne player chooses to go for, but trying to figure out what the Nurgle would want to do in turn 4. They could always go for potentially Conquer, if they take down the Bloodthirster with any of the heroes that are there. They've still got things like Ferocious Advance that they could go for with the Nurglings, the Bile Piper, and the Plague Bearers.
It was a 6-inch redeploy from the dogs.
6-inch redeploy, not bad, not bad. Good to get some luck on the Khorne side.
Yep. And we've lost the top down. Of course. I think it's just getting tired, right? It's been like, I've worked all weekend, leave me alone. There we go. Nope, wrong one. That's the one I want. There we go.
Right, so we're seeing broken ranks come out from the Khorne side. So we're going to assume this is, well, it has to be on the Plague Bearers, really, doesn't it?
Nah, it's
Or
that
is it
Beast
on
of Nurgle at the
Oh,
top.
yeah, the Beast of Nurgle are battle line in this
No,
faction.
he's not getting to that.
Not the Beast of Nurgle?
I don't think so. What's he getting to it with? He just got blood boiled off the board.
Yeah.
The Bile Piper has just got blood boiled off the board.
Finally, some good news for the Khorne. So,
Wow.
how does he get in with this? As I said at the start of the turn, he wouldn't have been able to pile in. We've still got the potential of not being able to use command abilities from the fly at the top, but thank Lord we can now pile in.
Yeah. Yeah.
So we can finally start putting all of these lovely, lovely Wrathmongers, the Bloodthirster, the Scarbrand, they can all get in, and they can finally start doing damage. In terms of what do you put at the Beast of Chaos, I would have said, you can of course get your Blood Boil, but they've now used it.
I think what he's done is he's gone broken ranks, because what he's going to do is he's going to throw Scarbrand into the Plague Bearers and throw the other Bloodthirster also into the Plague Bearers and just see what damage he can do.
Oh yeah, I assumed the broken ranks would have been on the Plague Bearers. Are you sure it's on the Beast of Chaos or not the Plague Bearers?
No, it's on the Plague Bearers. That's what I'm saying.
Okay, I thought you said it was on the
No, I
Beast
said
of
it
Nurgle.
could have been on the Beast of Nurgle.
Oh, heavens no. So we've seen the redeploy from the Plague Bearers come in.
A fat 3.
Yeah, but fortunately, the Bloodthirster can still get onto that, but he will drag... Will he drag that? Because the skulls are still blocking the movement on that Great Unclean One. He could keep himself out of the 1-inch range attacks,
Yeah.
but he won't be able to keep himself out of that null root staff. But it's not going to be enough damage to severely hamper the Bloodthirster.
Oh my word. You know Simon Eccles? We had him on stream yesterday, game 2,
Yep.
Nighthorn.
Yep.
He's gone 4-0 at this weekend. 4-1 this weekend.
Mm-hmm.
That's insane! Oh, you gotta love it, mate. You gotta love it. Brilliant. Absolutely love it.
Mr. Lomatastic asks a while back, what is the strength of schedule?
What a strength of schedule means.
For his friend.
Yeah, of course. For your friend, mate. So strength of schedule is basically over the course of the weekend, everybody starts off at a certain value, and depending on what you win and lose and draw, and what they win and lose and draw against and stuff like that, it affects the strength of schedule. So the reason Gabe is so high on the SOS is because everybody he's beat has then gone on to beat multiple other people, or has already beaten multiple people before we get to Gabe. That's why.
So if your opponents, if you beat them round one, but they continue to do really well, your score is higher.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is the reroll charge on Scarbrand. 6-inch charge with Scarbrand.
I mean, he gets into the Nurglings.
He can get round to the Nurglings and then pile in. Yep.
Because the Bile Piper's gone. Finally.
Yep.
And of course, he didn't fight last turn, so he's at max profile. Woo! So in a way, I guess it helped him a little bit. And he's getting +1 attack because he's by the Wrathmongers.
Yeah. Oh, because they give +1 attack, don't they?
Yeah, I don't know if it's just the mortal units or if it's the demons as well. Let me just bring up the War Scroll of the Wrathmonger.
That means he could potentially do 32 mortal wounds.
If it does affect, it is just Khorne units. I don't need Microsoft support right now.
Yeah, so 32 mortal wound potential.
So yeah, add 1 to the melee, to the characteristics of melee weapons. Used wholly within 8.
Oh, he'll pile in to be wholly in 8.
Oh yes.
Oh yeah.
Oh yes. And the Wrathmongers themselves are getting +1 to hit because they've charged. So they've got 4 attacks at 3s and 3s -1/1.
Yeah.
And they get to fight if they die as well. Oh, lordy, lordy, lordy.
That's incredible. Scarbrand could just absolutely smash his way through because it's +1 attack to all the melee profiles, right?
Yes, indeedy.
And his mortal wound bomb is a melee profile.
Mm-hmm. Unfortunately, he's within those Nurglings, so even if he does manage to kill those Plague Bearers, he can't get into the Great Unclean One with the fight twice.
It depends, because the splash mortal... Oh no, that's not the splash mortal.
No, unless he does 1 Carnage on the Nurglings. 1 Carnage, because Carnage is doing 8 mortal wounds, because he didn't fight last turn. As long as he rolls a 1-up.
Yeah.
So he will do... Unfortunately, Nurglings have 9 wounds, because they got 3 wounds at base. And they've also got their thing to account for. Maybe he just puts all of his normal attacks in to the Nurglings and all of the Carnage into the Plague Bearers.
Gotta listen to what they're saying. I think he's getting +2 attacks. 1 from the Blood Secretor, 1 from Carnage.
Yep.
Sorry, 1 from the Wrathmongers.
Yep. In which case, drop all your attacks from the X into the Nurglings.
No, you throw everything into the Plague Bearers. Your battle tactic is broken ranks. You've already missed 2 this game.
Yeah.
You throw everything into them.
I mean, Carnage should be doing, 21 mortal wounds immediately? Regardless.
Sorry,
not 21, 24.
24. No, it doesn't do 8. It does 6, doesn't it? Or is it 8?
It does 8.
Oh no, it does 8. Yeah.
As if it's a 6, it's 16.
Yeah. $16 damage going through from Slaughter. So 16. How many? I think he only saved 4 wards there, which means 7 are dead. The problem with the Nurglings is because they're 2 wounds each, it makes it really difficult to go through.
Yeah, the Plague Bearers being 2.
Sorry, Plague Bearers.
Or 3 if they had got the Flushy Abundance off.
I don't think they do, because Gabe's not got a little marker next to them.
Yeah.
Now the big one.
Come on, Carnage. It's a guaranteed 24 mortal wounds. Is it
No,
more?
it's only 2 dice.
So that's 8. It's 16. 16 mortals.
16 mortal wounds.
That could be a further 8 dead, which doesn't kill off the unit yet.
Yeah, 5s there, Gabe. You need 5s. Wow, he spiked the heck off that. Oh my
Yep.
word.
Now, will we use the Reaper's command ability to make him fight twice?
You do. You have to.
Yeah.
You've got to get broken ranks here. I think this is the same. Yeah, because else Gabe would be now hitting, wouldn't he?
Yeah. Didn't charge the other Bloodthirster.
Oh, 1s and 2s for days. He's all out attacked and needs 3s. Oh, 3 at -2. The dice have just left him. I feel bad for Calvin.
And he can't fail the Carnages. He can't fail them.
I mean, Gabe only lost 6 wounds there again. Is it enough to kill the last 2, 4,
We've got
6?
5.5.
Yeah, 5.5. So you've got 11 wounds left. I'd like to see a couple of spikes, please.
I think he's done. He's done.
Oh no.
So it's up to the It's
Wrathmongers.
up to the Wrathmongers.
Which made a charge, so they will be able to pile in.
Did he all out attack with Scarborough
Yeah.
instead of the fight twice?
Oh no, he Reapers. Sorry, he did Reapers. He didn't all out attack.
So even with Reapers, he only went through like 10 Plague Bearers.
Yeah. Oh, the dice just said no.
Did he not do? Did he do Carnage twice, or did he roll it all at once?
He rolled at Carnage all at once, I think.
But he didn't give himself +1 attack for the.
I don't know, Moog.
Oh.
I can go over and skew the game if you like, but I believe that he did it all. Like he rolled 2 lots of slaughter, and then that was pretty much it. And then he did do Carnage, but I think he maybe only did 6 mortals to him or something. Because a 1's a fail, right? No, it's not an attack, so a 1's not always a fail. Oh, either way, I don't know. I just feel really bad for Calvin because he's fought. Okay, he's got the point bonus, sure, but he's also fought really hard up here to be able to get 4 and 0 at this point, right?
Absolutely.
Are the Wrathmongers any good in combat? Any rend on them or anything?
-1.
Is that it?
Yep.
2 damage?
No. 1.
1 damage. 3s?
Fours and 3s. But +1, so they are 3s and 3s.
Oh, they get. Oh, because they
+1 when they charge.
made a charge. All right. And what's Blood Fury? Is that when they die?
It's when they die.
Okie dokie. 4 attacks each. Range.
I'm seeing a lot of 1s and 2s.
Yeah. Oh, mate. On a 50%, you roll. Oh, I feel bad for him. 3s again. Oh, his dice have just left him completely.
6.
But that's what we were saying earlier. It's a dice game, isn't it?
Four fails, 2 down.
It's not enough to kill them, and I imagine Gabe's got enough to. Oh, he's at 2 pip.
Yeah, so they did.
Yeah,
have
he got
fleshy
fleshy.
abundance.
He usually puts a little token down next to them.
It might be this one. It might be the one on the fountain, maybe. They were all around stuff before.
Oh, just watching this and going, damn, it's a dice game, but when they completely abandon you like this, and it's not just the one turn either. He has been unlucky on multiple turns with his dice, I think. Like not making the 6-inch rerollable charge, that hurts.
It sure does.
Getting a fat redeploy, sure. What I really hope though is that Gabe wins by more than 4 points. Just because then, if Calvin does watch this back, thank you very much for watching it back, Calvin. You didn't lose because you forgot that a pile-in is classed as a move. Rules reference 12.2?
Oh, something like that.
Have you got the
Where's the walk-in Rob?
Have you got the GHB?
Have I got the Tom? Where is he?
No, the GHB, not the Tom. It'll be in the GHB.
I do not. You had it last.
I had the GHB last.
Yes, I haven't looked in it.
It's here. Right, let's have a look. What did I say? 12.2? I think that's what Dodgy said earlier in the chat. 14, 13, 12.2. Pile-in. A model can make a pile-in move. When you make a pile-in move with a model, it must finish the move no further than it was from the nearest enemy. Is a pile-in a move?
Yes.
Yeah, I'd say so.
Did the model move? Yes, I'd say it's a move. It's not a retreat.
Or a
It certainly
setup.
isn't a retreat or a setup.
Yeah. For Calvin's brain safe, I hope it's a more than a 4 VP win for him. Oh, to add insult to injury, the Wrathmonger dies on the way out.
Is he going to do anything with his fight?
And Scarbrand's now locked in combat with some Nurglings.
It did 2 mortal wounds on the way out. Will this one do anything?
Come
No,
on.
It was just 2 mortal wounds.
Oh. I feel so bad. But this game has proved how tanky Nurgle can be.
I mean, absolutely.
Yeah. Particularly if you just roll 5s.
Or 4s.
Well, for 1 turn 4s.
Well, for 1 turn 4s, or for your general that just has a relic to do it, 4s.
Oh, has he got a 4 at ward normally?
Yeah. It's the reason that's pretty much the only one ever picked.
The split horn helm.
Yeah. It's always on that guy. You very rarely see anything apart from the Lord of Afflictions with the aura and the split-born helm.
Yeah. Well, let's have a cheeky look. This looks like a bit more of a populated game when we look at this particular angle.
Still just seeing that Bloodthirster looming on the horizon. He'll get there eventually. He's been stuck behind some puny mortals for the last 4 turns.
Yeah. It's been a shame. Noel, the box will be... The draw has closed because it was 3 PM. And the box will be... Or the winner, sorry, will be drawn after this game is finished. So we'll see what happens with this game. 1 VP is all that was taken.
I think we should change it up. I think we should spin the wheel for the...
We
should get a giant wheel to spin for the box.
Oh, for the... No.
Oh.
No. This way is too efficient.
But wheels are fun.
Yeah, I know, but this way means that
Apart
it can
from
be
the
done.
wheel of contagion when you're Khorne.
You've made a very good point there, Moog. I'm going to randomize this data range. 1... Oh, hang on, I've not got them all in.
See my entry. I'm the winner.
1, 2, 3. I was randomizing the wrong range. There we go. I can randomize these bits. There you go. Okay. Gabe's turn. Glory to the Grandfather. That's a Nurgle one.
Indeed it is.
What does that do we think? I think it's just kill more units than he had killed this turn.
It is complete the tactic if at the end of this turn more enemy units than friendly units are destroyed. So, I think Scarbrand might kill that unit of Nurglings. you just shoot. But what do we have on the Khorne side left? A unit of 2 plague dogs, flesh hounds, and you've got the 4-up ward, no command ability general. He's going to go into the into the Scar Blood Wrath and stuff.
Sorry. Just as a heads up, chat. It looks like Calvin's having a go at Gabe. He's not. They're just play messing about. And Calvin's like, I'm just going to make Skarl fight in the attack phase.
Yeah, so we're using the blood tithe.
Yeah. We might as well. It's turn 4.
Yeah.
I mean, Gabe's going to get
I mean,
what?
try to line his battle tactic by fighting in the hero phase, taking out the plague bearers and the Nurglings,
Why the Nurglings?
because it's kill more units. If you want to deny the battle tactic,
yeah, sorry, I see what you're saying. Is it not a starting army? No.
No.
Nice.
So just do what you can to try and take as much out as possible. So the plague bearers are finally gone.
Yeah. That's
I
one of them
imagine
gone.
that the Great Unclean One will just absolutely. I
They'll-
mean, he'll just fleshy abundance the.
They might even mortal wound them off.
He'll fleshy abundance that off. If he doesn't like cast an, he can't. No, he can cast Arcane Bolt. It was Mystic Shield. He
It was
lost.
Mystic Shield he lost, yeah. Yeah. Oh. Well, it's been a relatively good game to watch and see how Gabe's few models are managing to hold up and how that massive block of Plague Bearers has weathered multiple storms.
Yeah, I mean they did what Plague Bearers do, and I mean it's the Sloppity Bar Piper. He controlled 3 turns.
Yeah. No pile-in for 3. The thing is, it's not no pile-in. If you ever come up against this, it isn't no pile-in. It's you cannot end closer if you are within 3.
Mm.
So you can pile round, you just can't pile in.
Mm. Right. But it's the same as what happened earlier with the Protectors, isn't it?
Yeah.
They got in early and just survived.
Yeah.
And that's all they needed to do. Just be a nuisance to the point where you can't really do anything. Everything's trapped behind it.
Yeah. Mr. Lamatastic says, so to the casual observer, it seems like the points are all tied up, but you reckon it's a sure thing for Nurgle. Yes, here's why. It's turn 4, Gabe has a turn. I reckon he's probably going to do that because those Fleshhounds are probably going to die, and the Wrathmongers are too. That gives him 2 points. He's going to get 1 point for holding one, so that's 3 points. So it'll be 12 points to 8 going into turn 5. That's assuming he doesn't come in and kill this Bloodthirster, which he very much has the possibility to do.
Yep.
If he doesn't, turn 5, he then puts everything into killing this Bloodthirster, takes the objective, holds 1, holds 2, holds more, has his battle tactic of, I don't know, something, and goes from there. So I think it's I don't know if I don't think it's going to be a massive win, but I certainly think it's going to be a win for Gabe. I think hold the line is all done now. I think all of the Blood Reavers are dead, aren't they? Or the Blood Fleshhounds count as battle line?
Fleshhounds are battle line.
Yeah, I think Fleshhounds are battle line, aren't they?
Yeah, they are.
Oh, I think maybe Savage? No, Glory to the Grandfather is what it was selected. I'm thinking you might have set up for Savage later on.
Yeah, you can set up for Savage. You can go Conquer next turn potentially as well. I mean, it's not guaranteed like Savage, but
Savage
it's
is
another one that's
guaranteed
open.
Yeah, I imagine Orgots is going to shoot some stuff. And look at the brothers.
Yeah, they've not really done much this game.
No, but they've got a couple of charges to make. If they can hold up Scarbrand, they can hold him up nicely.
Mm-hmm.
But the game's not done yet. I think it's relatively close, but relatively over. But it's not over yet. There are definitely plays that Calvin can do. There is the possibility if Gabe repositions poorly, and Scarbrand manages to kill the Nurglings, and he's out of 3, that in turn 1 he can hero phase move here, because there'll be enough dead by that point with Blood Tithe points.
We've just summoned in a Beast of Nurgle.
To do that, and then he could potentially move on, kill this, take Conquer, get some more points. Like, there's definitely plays.
Or is that just a dead... I don't know if that's a dead one or if we summoned that in.
Where was that, sorry?
Down by the rulers.
Summoned in, I believe. Near the tree. Add insult to injury. If you get a charge off, you're just trying to put as much into Scarbrand so that he can't go through it all in one turn.
Mm-hmm.
Speckles is just over the other side of the room celebrating that he went 4 and 0 and 1. I don't know why the and 0 is relevant there.
No draws?
No draws. Yeah, I guess no draws.
No draws.
No draws.
No draws.
Oh dear. I am full of cold. I've got tournament flu already.
Everyone gets the post-tournament sickness.
Yeah, especially when you've got 80 players nearly here. It's crazy. A wonderful amount. So there are currently 12 minutes left in the game.
Mm-hmm.
The players are going to be probably speed. I don't think the last couple of turns are going to take that long, to be honest with you.
No.
An 11-inch charge on Orgots. The dice have all been in Gabe's favour. Nothing is, unfortunately. Flying Lord onto 8 to get over there. 3 mortal wounds on the doggies. 1 wound left in that unit.
Yeah, and it'll have gotten disease points from being charged and being in combat.
It will take D3 mortal wounds and kill the dog, so that's his broken ranks. No, not broken ranks. That's his grand strategy denied.
Yep.
Now all Calvin's got to do is win the game to get his 5 points.
Mm.
Oh, this is sad.
Fortunately, I just think Nurgle's too tanky for Khorne to deal with at this point.
Yeah, there's
Well-
not enough play. It'd be interesting to see all 4 of the Chaos Gods have a bit of a rock, paper, scissors kind of situation, where one is superior over the other one. Like, in the way the book works.
Mm.
So, like, I don't know, maybe Slaanesh beats Khorne just because it fights first, or something. It's speedy enough to outfight them. Tzeentch beats Nurgle because they're trickery or something like that. Nurgle smashes Slaanesh because it's tanky enough, and then Khorne smashes Tzeentch because get you pesky wizards. That could be quite. I don't know. They're probably not going to build that into the books, obviously, but that could be quite cool.
What about the Great Horned? You mentioned him, he's a Chaos God.
He's like a budget one.
No, he's not.
He's like the great uncle that you see twice a year.
Have you know, during the end times, he was officially elevated to Chaos God status?
Yeah, but he's like Poundland Chaos God.
He blew up, he blew up, his children blew up the moon of the old world, which, then caused everything to, we have the Skaven to thank for Age of Sigmar. Archeon and the Skaven.
Yeah, exactly. Poundland Skaven because it broke.
That was the intention. If the intent was to break, it's like every manufacturer of technology. It's designed to break in 3 years. So you got to buy a new universe to put your rats in now.
buy a new.
You got to buy a new universe to get your rats in.
Excuse me, Council of Gods. I would like to buy a new universe.
Like, the rats were definitely not in all the sewers in the old world at that time. So we needed a new world for new sewers to get all the rats not in.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. That's fair. That is.
Oh, I'd also like to add we have Vladimir Karstide as well. Vlad von Casting to thank as well. The Skaven, Archeon, and Vlad.
Yeah, Poundland Skaven. He's a
It's
Poundland
just
god.
a shame they didn't do. You see, and this is where the classic fireback with Skaven is. They did the job. They did the mortal wounds onto the moon. Unfortunately, it backfired, and now we got Techless in this realm.
Mortal wounds. Sorry, mortal wounds onto the moon. Did
Mortal
you just
wounds
say?
onto the moon.
Was there a ward save on the moon?
No ward saves. This is an old book.
Old book, no ward saves. Got it.
Old book, no ward save. But unfortunately, it reflected back onto us, and now we got more elves. We got more elves.
You deflected back the mortal wounds on the moon and got elves.
Yeah. Even if the elves did die in that, they came back, unfortunately.
Yeah. Pretty standard. Okie dokie. So, glory to the grandfather. Scarbrand's dead from the Twicebawns.
Yeah, they pump out enough damage. Scarbrand isn't particularly tanky. He's just really hitty if he gets in, and he hasn't fought before.
Yeah.
So it's unfortunate. Scarbrand should be a thing to fear, but he's so easily countered in this meta. There we go. There's the handshake.
They've called the handshake, and I think it was a Gabe victory there.
Yeah.
Because he would have got glory to the grandfather, hold 1, and then in turn 5 he would have gone from there. So we'll come back to us. And there we have it. Game number 5 complete. Unfortunately, Calvin's dice just completely abandoned him throughout that game at multiple points. A couple of mistakes here and there. Gabe managed to capitalise on it. And the tanky prowess of Nurgle really did came through with that. With the unfortunate. So a Nurgle win indeed. We will get the final score for that later on. And if anybody is interested, please DM me and I can give you the final score update. But that means that our 2 5-0 players of the weekend are Freddie Leggett and Gabe Huddlestone. So Nurgle and Cities of Sigmar. One of them will win, one of them will not. They will come second. Most likely, assuming favourite player votes and scoring doesn't necessarily come into it. But I believe it was a 35-5 victory for Gabe. He didn't get full points because he didn't get... They rolled at the end to see what the casting value was of the Arcane Bolt, so he could try and get his wrench, and he failed to cast it.
The skulls were still there doing
The
their
skulls
job.
were still there doing their job, so that was that. We don't know who's won the battle box yet, Esh and I. We're going to take a really quick break, and I'm talking like a couple of minutes, and I will do the draw for the battle box then. So, and I'll do all my thank yous after we give that away. So don't go anywhere. We will be right back. And we are back. We are all set up and ready for the giveaway. This is Ben, this is Moog, and we'll get back to us in just a second. But shall we see who won our battle box? We are giving away Echoes of Doom. Thank you very much to everybody who emailed in, everybody who donated towards the box as well. We have covered the costs and the cost of shipping in the UK. Abroad, I will still have to soak some up, but that's absolutely not a problem. We will see who our winner is. So I've got all the names listed here on this side of the screen with all of their tickets and numbers, and it has been randomized multiple times. We're going to randomize it just once more on screen so you can see it. Bang, there you go, randomized. And then all I need to do is hit this generate button. Are we ready? Moogie, you ready?
Yeah, and I'm calling it. It's going to be Skaven's lucky number 13 person. That's my guess.
That's Jam Hadar on this list?
Yeah.
Oh, well, it won't be Jam. It'll be...
Number 13.
Technically Inquisitor or Gengar, but we'll see. Ready?
Yeah.
Chat, drum roll in the chat, please, if you are here. Just put B and then a load of R's.
Done.
That'll be really good. Like this.
Done.
Like a burr. Burr for me. Burr. Burr. And it's only Mr. Larmatastic and Ash that are pretty much in here. So Nurgle did win that game, but we will come and do the final things in a second. Andy, how's it going? And the winner of the battle box is number 8052. So 8052 is Karagon.
Oh, where is he?
Where is he?
He's right there, sitting down.
Where is he? Where?
It's behind Baz.
Where is he? Baz is there.
Yeah.
Oh, he's behind Baz. Well, 1 second.
We can get him.
Tom, who won the box? He's got a massive smiley face and a thumbs up. Karagon won the box.
He is so excited about starting Skaven, that man.
Oh, brilliant. I demand an on-screen prize acceptance. Well, it'd be hard push because I don't have the box yet because it's on pre-order. There we go. So that's going to get delivered to Caragon.
Maybe we could get, like one of them big fake checks. We can quickly mock up a big box.
Just write Echoes of Doom on the thing. Hand it over. Well, he's just got the box. Now I'm going to let him enjoy the rest of his day. He went 4-0 and 1 with his Flesh Eater Courts here at Mancunian Carnage. I just want to say a couple of thank yous before we do disappear. First off, Moog, thank you so very much for joining me for the weekend. It has been a pleasure as always. I absolutely love having you here to talk about Skaven when we have Skaven on the stream. And I'm glad we also got Bone Splitters, which is fantastic.
Best game. Even better. In game 4, he stared so many dragons to death.
He killed all the dragons to death and Vindictors and everything. It was brilliant. I also want to say a massive, massive thank you to all of our players that were on streams today. I appreciate it so much. You guys have been absolutely wonderful. Thank you so much. Thank you very, very much to Element Games for hosting us here and letting us use their internet and their power. A massive thank you to Alex, who runs Mancunian Carnage, and has very, very graciously let us stream his event and bring some eyes from abroad over to his stream and be able to stream the event. And also, I think it's gone pretty well. I think he's been pretty pleased with it, so we may be able to do more in the future. We've got another one booked in August for that. And then a massive thank you to everybody in chat. I appreciate you all for watching. This is the reason we do this, is so that we can bring you guys some level of content. So thank you so very much for being here and doing all that good stuff. If you are interested in events that we are running at the Hobby Room, you can go to thehobbyroom.events. I'll be running all those events. All the details are on there. There are also Facebook pages. If you search for Decimation, Obliteration, and Bonded by Bloodshed, they should pop up in our usual branding. Other than that, thank you so very much, everybody, for watching and playing along. I appreciate it.
Do we have any more streams coming up in the future?
What?
The live coverage event?
Live coverage event. Yes, we do. In 3 weeks' time, we're going to be streaming. That's right, 3 weeks' time. We're going to be streaming the Warrior Lodges Heat 3.
It's 2 weeks.
Is it 2 weeks?
It's 2 weeks.
In not a lot amount of time, we are going to be streaming the Warrior Lodges Heat 3, whereas another 5-game Age of Sigmar tournament. We will be bringing you that from Sanctuary Games over in Sutton and Ashfield, which is only 15 minutes from my house. So nice and easy in the morning.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
Other than that, join in the Discord if you can. Congratulations to everybody who won. Commiserations to everybody who lost today. I appreciate you all for being there. Thank you to all of our followers, subscribers, donators, cheers, pledges, lurkers, raiders, hosters. And other than that, have a wonderful evening, everybody. Thank you, Moog. Thank you, everybody. Look after yourselves. Happy hobbying.